Welcome to the Smoke Sessions. Hop on in. Wait. Hey, yo.
Exclusive DJ beats.
Welcome to the Smoke Sessions, mother... Welcome to the Smoke Sessions. Hop on in. Wait. Hey, yo.
Exclusive DJ beats.
Welcome to the Smoke Sessions, mother...
Pick these up. Oh yeah. Look at that. All right, y'all. So listen. So again, let me just say something in advance, and this is just my apologies here. So I have been pushing 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's what I have been pushing this entire moment. Actually, let me fix this little style thing over here. Let's just put it minimum. You know what? I guess I got to move myself. Either or. You know what? We'll get that fixed up. Look, ladies and gentlemen, blame it on 420. Blame it on the gas. Blame it on the green. Blame it on whatever you want to blame it on. So I did have the show scheduled for 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. But me Mr. 420, decided to send our guest an invite for 12 noon. And we said, you know what? Let me throw on the shirt and apologize, fellas. But nevertheless, people, welcome to the Smoke Sessions. Yes, I'm your boy K. Look, Nap and Dex, they holding it down on the 9 to 5. That was on me. But let's honestly get things started. You already know we just had WrestleMania week, right? WrestleMania Vegas. And you already know so many talents were out there showing up and showing out. This man right here created another WrestleMania streak of 2026 that unfortunately came to an end that very same fateful night. We're going to get into that. But you may have seen him in a city near you. You may have seen this dude getting down. And I don't mean as in dancing and grooving, on his grind, on his hustle, trolling you little internet weirdo marks. All of that, all the above. Has an op in Tribal Keith. We're going to talk about all that. I'm going to let the man speak for himself. But nevertheless, let's welcome to the Smoke Sessions. Big Trouble, Big Carney Cool, Ben Bishop. Yeah, we're going to pull him up to the Smoke Sessions. There it is right there.
God, what an entrance. I appreciate that. Great introduction.
Oh, you know,
some people might have seen me dance. I don't know. We'll see.
You know, there was a couple videos I seen. You was at a wedding, I think what it was. Yeah,
my cousin's wedding. Yeah.
So
yeah, man, I can get down a little bit.
Big Carney Cool is in the building. We appreciate you for stopping in, man. I know you've yourself a busy week. Talk to us about that, man. How was Big Carney Cool? How was Big Trouble's WrestleMania week?
You know, man, it was great. You know, we started out as soon as I got into town. Had two shows right away for Boca Raton Championship Wrestling at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, the 15th, and then Coastal Championship Wrestling at 5 p.m. the same day. Got to wrestle against Gangrel, Zach Clayton, Matt Riddle. So it was a great day, you know. And then from there, you know, I didn't actually have any other bookings. So wrestling bookings, to say the least. You know, I was booked at WrestleCon, so I was there for 2 days. You know, but it was a special week because, you know, there's a lot going on. Vegas is its own beast in itself. It's a monster. Mm-hmm. I used to live there. I kind of know like the ins and outs of it a little bit. But you know, it's just it's stimulation overload. And but it really is a great week to really connect with everybody, see so many people. Fortunately for me, you know, things have been going great over the past year, getting my name out there. So a lot of people are starting to know who I am, and within the industry, I'm not kind of that like young boy anymore when we're just walking around, you know, having to introduce myself. People already know, which is great. And so getting to network, doing a lot of that, you know, what we call in wrestling, networking, politicking, and brothering with everybody, which was fun and getting to enjoy ourselves, enjoy Vegas. It was all in all, it was a great week. I got to go to some shows. I actually got to be a fan, got to go watch Progress. I saw some of Josh Barnett's Bloodsport as well. And yeah, it just a really very tiring week, but a worthwhile week. I was really happy I was there.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because you see, we shout out to Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, by the way, because, you know, we did have Matt Mania on, we did have Noah Keiko on the show. Shout out to Amir, the whole crew. And when we seen the flyer, and we was like, skim through this card, and we're like, wait a minute, hold up, why is that 24? That's 24 from Jersey Shore right there. I mean, the missus and I, we're Jersey Shore fans, so I mean, a lot of folks be like, oh, yeah, why would you bring him on the show? I'd be like, man, I want to bring him on for the Jersey Shore side of things. But when I seen you in that, I said, you know, Noah, I think you two will put on a hell of a matchup, because y'all are both tall in stature.
Big dude. Noah's a big dude. I think actually on August 16th, myself and Kerry Morton are taking on Cesar Bononi and Noah.
Oh, the title.
So yeah, so it will be happening soon.
Yes, that's what we was hoping for. He was like, But
cool story about Noah. I don't know if he told you, but when I had my first WWE tryout, he was one of the NXT talents that was helping out during that tryout. So I've known him for a bit now. We've stayed in touch, and great guy, really great guy. I love running into him when I'm down in Boca Raton.
So before we get into that, for those who may not know who Big Trouble Big Carney Cool is. We're not even gonna get into the social media side. You know what the question is, and you probably get this more often than not, man. If you can get a dime for every time you got this question, I'm pretty sure you'd be Mr. Monopoly right now. But of course, your journey, you know what, where was it in your point in time that you decided, you know what, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I never my thing. I always loved professional wrestling since I was a kid. I watched it all the time since I was 8 years old. And it was just something for me. I didn't have a group of friends that liked it. My friends all like sports, which I did too. We all watched that together, but I watched wrestling. There was nobody else. I had a few here and there sporadically through my life that would watch it with me, but not really on a consistent basis. So, I always said, like, I'd love to be a wrestler. I never really knew how to do it. So I kind of just decided that, since I'm so tall, why don't I try basketball? So I played basketball my whole life, from fifth grade on and through college. Played at the University of Vermont, and that was awesome. I got an education, made some incredible memories, lifelong friends. Loved the University of Vermont. It was a great place to go to school, but then that was it. I wasn't playing overseas. I was decided I wanted to be done with it. It's not like I was getting a ton of offers anyway, but I could have probably, if I wanted to, try to play overseas somewhere in some league, just for the experience, But it wasn't for me. So just decided to become an adult and start. Went to grad school and started working in the real world. And I just kind of had like in the back of my mind of like, I kind of want to do more. Like I don't want to just be a 9-to-5 guy. And I felt like I had more of something to give. And I went to an indie wrestling show in Maryland where I was living at the time. And because I was listening to Busted Open one day, and Enzo Amore was on it, now known as Real One. So Zoe was on there talking about how he was going to be at a indie show in Maryland. I had nothing to do that night. It was Friday night. My wife was dog sitting, so I went to the show. And Gilbert came up to me during the show and asked me, Dwayne Gill, and he said to me, or who are you? I was like, oh, I'm just Ben. And he's like, are you a wrestler? And I was like, no. Do you want to be? I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. And so he introduced me to James Ellsworth, who's actually my trainer. And the next day I started training. So I kind of just fell into it, man. Like I wasn't like, seeking it out too much. I'm so happy it happened. If I didn't go to that show or I wasn't listening to Busted Open that day, and I almost stayed home. That's the funny story. I was playing Madden, and I was honestly just like enjoying that. And I was like, maybe I'll eat the $20 and not go to the show. And then finally I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to do it. I had nothing. I was like, I should just go. Yeah. And I'm so happy I did, because it's been a wonderful 7 years.
And shout out to Gil and Jimmy, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I think when I first met Gil first, and he was like, hey, Jimmy. I'm like, Jimmy, who's Jimmy? And sure enough, it was Els, and it was like, yo, I haven't got them on a podcast yet, but I was supposed to do a show with them. Didn't work out as far as like the city and everything wise, but I'm definitely gonna bring them on. So when you brought them up, it was like, yeah, good times, because they're always out there, almost like a little duo right there, So
and they're from the same area, which is so funny. Like they have the similar gimmicks and same, yeah.
And that's what he told me. He's like, yeah, we're from the same area, and look, man, we just started bonding, and here we are. And so when I was booking Gil, he's like, yeah, let's bring Jimmy too. And it's like, I got it. I got you. I see. But let's talk about that, because look, I got one lit. The missus is out here. She's my little producer on the side, is rolling up something here. But nevertheless, we're going to just talk. We're going to just talk. And
I appreciate you celebrating the holiday.
Oh yeah, definitely do. I actually took a vacation day today because of the holiday. So when you chose this date, I said, thank you. But now, your career, you trained with Jimmy. A lot of people just know him for what he did for his little short stints here in WWE. Outside of that, look, I don't care, whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, truth always comes to light. I don't even, we're not talking about none of that nonsense. What I want to talk about is, because that's a little different side. Not a lot of people know that Jimmy trains can train talent.
Yeah.
And what was
Yeah.
that experience like with Jimmy training with him and what do you taught you?
Yeah, I mean, it really was incredible, from the first day, he doesn't take it easy. So, he kind of saw me and he says it himself. He's like, I'm a mark for the bigger guys. Like he loved wrestling. He loved guys like Vader. He loved Kevin Nash, loved Sid. Those are the guys that he really, really enjoyed watching. And so he saw me and he's just like, you're a former athlete. Like maybe there's something here. So I, just right from the get-go, he kind of threw me in the deep end, like taking bumps, driving to shows, doing the Carney thing where I had to drive him to shows. But I get it. I get how this goes, paying your dues. Yeah, it's the thing with Ellsworth, and that what people don't understand when it comes to his ability to train people. He wasn't getting over with his size or his looks, and this is all things he'll say, or his athleticism. Like he had to do all the little things. And that's what makes him such a good trainer and a good coach. He sees the little things that he needed to do to get over that really helps me, right? Like, I mean, you can teach a lot of people the moves, right? Like teaching the moves isn't the hardest part. Fortunately, I was an athlete, so a lot of the stuff like the footwork and all that came to me pretty quickly. In the ring, obviously, there was a lot to learn. There's still some to learn. You're never perfect, but just like the psychology aspect of it and really kind of learning one-on-one, because he doesn't train a lot of people. He's not going to train someone unless he sees something. He's not just taking people's money and training them if he doesn't believe that they could, work out to get signed by a major company. So he saw that in me, and he's been tremendous through the years, man. He's always had my back. I know not a lot of people get that from their trainers. You pay them the money, you train there for 3-6 months, and then they kind of send you on your way and be like, oh yeah, you can put me on a resume, and that's kind of it, right? They don't help you, but he's helped me get bookings. He's just at the Hall of Fame. Talking to some people about me as well. I can't talk too much about it, but he brought me up to some people, and they've all said, like, we love his stuff, this, that, and the other. And, it's just kind of it's great to have him in my corner. He's been a great trainer, a great friend as well. He's a character in his own right. So we go back and forth, give each other shit all the time. But really, no, he's been absolutely a blessing to have on my side through the years.
And honestly, you could just see it, the personality, how you are building a chemistry with not only the fans but on social media as well. Mm-hmm. So you can already see the presentation is just tenfold. You're just receiving it, and you can already see it. And this is your grind. The tools and resources, you're just utilizing them. You did say something though. We're not going to talk about it, but you did say something. Again, anytime I go green in a session, I always somehow catch myself, or I'm like, wait a minute. So you said he was at the Hall of Fame, which I saw too. And did you say, okay, you were there, or there was something?
I was not there.
You said that there's some things you can't.
I can't just disclose who he talked to. There. But he's spoken to some people about me, and has said they like my stuff, and to keep working, and because I obviously got the no back in September from WWE after the tryout. I've heard a few reasons why. You never know the full exact reason, but I'm not trying to dwell on that too much.
For sure.
Forward and kind of see. I've gotten some pretty encouraging words from some people, so it's just really all you can do is keep moving forward, because I can sit here, throw a pity party, feel bad for myself, and I did that for a little bit, but then it's time to get back on the horse and keep things moving.
From the way you have built yourself up, I'll just say rebuilt, because sometimes, and that's what I spoke to Noah about, he was in the PC, he was in the system, and then you're so long adapted to it, and then it's all of a sudden it's just, damn, what do I do now? And that moment of reflection. But your rebuilding phase that you did, you couldn't even notice it, because what you're doing, you're taking it all in stride. You take it's a lesson for you, a life lesson for you, obviously in the real world or shoot fields, you take it in strides as knowledge. But to that persona, it's like, man, I'm gonna laugh it off because look, man, I'm gonna keep getting those no matter what, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep on pushing. I'm gonna keep on, making the best of it, the light of it. And I wish a lot of talent, or even fans saw it that way, because see, like I see a couple of, in the words of Real One there, I see a couple of haters, because you out here saying some things that are real, and I mean maybe they feel convicted, but you get these haters, so we don't want to take too much time on that part. But you found an op in Tribal Keith, but yet I guess he represents a very large portion of social media, or the community as they like to call themselves. I don't ever like to really use that word. Anyway, your experiences. And you got into business. What have your experiences been like? Because I know everybody's different with their mentions. Myron said, Myron Reed, we just had him on the show with Killer Kelly, and he was just like, it's pretty crazy, like with the things that these people say. And like, what are your,
man, I mean, at the end of the day, like, we can all talk about gimmicks and all that and our shticks, but I'm just kind of being myself. At the end, like Ben Bishop is just me turned up to 11. Like there's really no difference. So a lot of things you see on social media, what you see is what you get. Like, are we all a little, you can't say everything we feel, right? I say a good amount of it. It's just, here's the thing. Any fandom's going to have crazy fans, right? You're going to have people who don't really get it. I say all the time, Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, if you say he's the best wrestler in the world, or you say he's the worst wrestler in the world, you're right. There's not, because it's subjective. You might not like the way he wrestles. Somebody that loves lucha libre might hate Japanese strong style. Somebody who likes world sport might hate Memphis style wrestling. It's just, that's the nature of the beast. So I always say, if you don't like me, that's fine. A lot of what I do, depending if it's my wrestling or my comedy, if someone doesn't like it, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I might go back and forth with you, have some fun, but at the end of the day, you're entitled to your own opinion. Yep. So when I do things, and also with me is just like how I look at wrestling is that, look at what we're doing. Like, this should be fun. Like, we're having fun. We're playing characters. We're doing, like, it's show business. So the way I look at it when I create characters like the Shindy promoter, Bob Furio, or the IWC Internet Wrestling Community Leader, Tribal Keith, I just think it's fun. Like, because I'm able to laugh at myself, right? Like, I can laugh at myself. I poke fun at myself all the time. Like, a lot of those videos when I started, like the one watching the Rampage match with my wife, where she's walking out on me because I lost to Roderick Strong in a minute, right? Like, it's just, I'm doing like the guy who just got extra work and making fun of myself and saying like I'm such a big deal because I did extra work at WWE. A lot of times I can poke fun at myself and I find it funny. I have a lot of self-deprecating humor. Which is, I think, is good and bad, because what that makes me do is think that everybody's like that. So, so when I do the Tribal Keiths of the world, I'm just trying to have some fun, right? I'm trying to have fun. And most people get it. Believe me, dude, I can go down the line. People at WrestleCon that came up to me, which was awesome. Axe from Demolition came up to me. Like, I don't know, like, I was at my table. He was walking to his. He was literally going to the Hall of Fame the next day. He walks up to me and he's just like, "Hey, man, I love all your videos, especially the one about the weirdos at the airport waiting for our autographs. Yeah, that one, I was cracking up, man." So I was just like, see, that's so cool. He didn't have to come up to me and say anything. Matt Hardy loves Tribal Keith, right? Like, he comes up to me and says it. So I mean, I can go. I'm not going to name drop, but I can go down the line with a bunch of people that have said they love it, because it's just, at the end of the day, it's just fun. It's parody. I think of, like, the reason why I'm like, hey, it's harmless, I think of guys like Comic Book Guy from The Simpsons, right? That's basically Tribal Keith, his Comic Book Guy. Yeah. And like, and Simpsons is my favorite show growing up. It's where a lot of my humor comes from. So I think it's harmless and it's fun, but people get really in their feelings about it, and they get upset because some people, they can't hold a mirror up to themselves and they can't say, hey, this is just silly. Like, this is me, but I've done this. I'm guilty of this. Let's have some fun. And you can't laugh at yourself. And I think if you take yourself too serious, especially in professional wrestling, you're gonna have a real bad time. Like, because you gotta boil it down to what wrestling is. It started in carnivals. It's a carny sport to begin with. So you gotta like, and that's what I take it as, and I try to have fun with it. And like I said, a majority is positive, and I'm not going to dwell and be like, oh, I'm making all this controversial content. But you're going to have the people that, out of every 19 positive comments, you got one person saying, oh, you're a piece of shit, you're this, you're that. And that's fine. You know what? It's all good, because it is a tiny bit controversial, because I'm doing things a lot different than most people do. I can put Jack Vaughn in the same light as this.
I was just about to bring him up too.
Yeah, he does similar content, and he started before me, and his stuff's more like in-ring stuff. Mine is more kind of like behind the scenes type stuff. But it's similar. It's controversial. And it's funny because, we have our fair share of haters within the business, but we definitely have a lot more people that are outside the business that give us a lot of shit. And it's like, hey, who are you standing up for?
Right.
Like, are you standing up for the sanctity of pro wrestling that you're not involved with? Like, I'm like, but like, I can have all these guys and these legends that follow me and love all my stuff. And they're like, oh, dude, this is great. But like in XOXO, like in Attitude Era Fan 36 on Twitter thinks that like, oh, you should respect the business more. It's like, buddy, respect yourself more.
Yeah.
Like, take the Doritos out of your hand and put the Mountain Dew down. And like, maybe I'll respect you a little bit. Don't tell me.
Oh
what to
shit.
respect.
Oh shit. Oh my God. Yo, I gotta ask. Like, okay. First off, does Big Bishop occasionally tend to like to have himself a drink or two? And if so, what's his shot of
Sometimes too many, brother. I mean, speaking of just coming from Vegas, I actually have to go back tomorrow for my shoot job. So I am like, oh my God, I got to go back to that hellhole. But my drink of choice, I'm a clear liquor guy, and that might sound, I might have to hand in my man card a little bit, but I'm a tequila or vodka guy. I'm not a dark liquor guy.
Reason saying is because I'm supposed to be. I'm not going to introduce the other guests we're going to have yet for the folks, but I'm supposed to be drinking some Jack, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I drink Pina Colada and Sunny Delight. That's what I drink. I call it my orange dream. I'm a Pina Colada guy and Sunny D. You won't ever catch me. The reason I asked that is because I know there's got to be some time. When you're shooting some of this content that you're doing, I mean, if you're going green, you're going green, but you might have had a drink or two and then you just decide to go on cam and you know
I never actually have. I've never done. I don't think I've ever done a video where actually I might have, but not normally. Not normally I've done a video where I've either been partaking in the I can't think of a good word, in marijuana or drinking. Never. I call it the devil's lettuce. I guess that's the word I was looking for. No, I've never done one where I've done either of those. I can't think of one where I have. But no, usually I swear, man, like my creative people ask me all the time about this. So it's a good question about like my creative process with and I don't have sometimes I feel like I disappoint people because they think I'm going to be like a Gary V, where I'm just like, oh, so I need to put out like this and this, and then I got to make sure that I get this video out and this video, and then do this, and then at this time, I'm like, no, dude, it just kind of comes to me. Like, and I just decide like, I'm going to do it then. There are times where I'll be like timings with posts. Like I'm not going to post at like midnight, like that's just kind of what I won't do. But when like something just comes to me, I'll just film it, and then I'll decide when I want to post it, if it's that day or maybe in a day or two, or hold on to it, edit it, and get it up when I feel like it. But there's no like where I'm like, I'm going to do the Shitty Promoter this day, then Tribal Keith on Tuesdays, and then this on Wednesdays. And no, I don't take it that serious. Like I just throw things up. I'm more of a creative, and that may be like my downfall sometimes, because I consider myself just more of a creative guy. I'm not like this business savvy guy. So but things like come to me, and I just want to share my creative output. I guess I don't know how to say it.
And you have to be able to express yourself, but then at the same time, you got to have that support system to be able to help inspire, because not a lot of people understand. Some of these weirdos don't understand. Like, you got to have a major support system, and it starts, of course, at the home front. You got your love, you got your wifey. the video was great. You know, the co-host who's not here said I wasn't gonna ask the question, but I was like, oh, this guy, I want to make him. He doesn't smoke, but the questions he asked, you want to hope he does smoke, because he says, hey, can you find out, like, you know, how did they reconcile? You know, and I was like,
dog shit. The dog shit was picked up.
He said, how did they reconcile after the, you know, the match? Because I said she had left him, right? And I was like, yo, I didn't respond. I just left him on red. It's like, how do I respond to this? And it's like, but honestly,
some people really think that happened. And some people really think, like the last one we did about the dog shit be on the floor for 2 years. They're like, why hasn't she picked it up in 2 years? I'm like, dude, are you seriously are you taking this that serious? Like this stupid video.
But you look, honestly, we're gonna get real, son. You know, I might be a little older here. They're not here, so they don't like when I try to do my Stone Cold accent. Hey, look, Big Ben, you out here? We about to shoot from the hip. You got yourself a wife. No, but honestly, how much of a major asset has she been for you? The support system she's provided you. I mean, you know, being a part of this is not crazy. You just said to yourself, I was just in Vegas. Now I got to go back to Vegas. Like,
yeah, and she's been supportive since the beginning, man. I mean, she's been wonderful. Allowing, really letting me kind of live this dream of mine. So it's been great. I can't thank her enough. The support has been tremendous. And there's times where I get it, and that it can get really busy. So we try to make sure that, like, keep weekends open, not always, taking every booking, right? I pick and choose now. I want to make sure I go to the good ones. I'm doing quality over quantity at this point. I'm not just going to go and work, 3 shows in the middle of nowhere and, in some random state. I got to look at the poster. Is it a good poster? Is it worth it? Is it worth my time? If it's not, then I'm going to stay home and hang out with my wife, my dogs, so that's what I'd rather do. I've fortunately getting a lot of really good bookings. So, especially May is pretty packed. But I always look forward to those weekends where I have off and we can just hang out.
You wrestled 2 nights. You wrestled twice in the same night. That was in Vegas. I know we haven't gotten to that Riddle match yet. Damn, that damn Avalanche RK Bro. Son of a bitch. Anyway. Can't give the fans or even supporters or just first-time viewers insight of what it's like for somebody like you to have to, and it was the same venue, but like to be able to, hey, I'm wrestling 2 shows same night,
Oh. Yeah. So it wasn't, it's when I was playing basketball growing up, I mean, we had AAU tournaments and we were playing 5-6 games a day. So having an 8 to 12 minute wrestling match shouldn't be too big of a deal, right? But again, a little older at this point, so it's a little bit more difficult. When I get off the plane, I'll be completely honest, folks, if you can guess it, planes aren't super comfortable for old Beachy Double B. So, right off the plane and go to the hotel, check in. We were only there for like an hour. And I actually caught a ride with Cha-Cha Charlie and Ellsworth to go to the Boca Raton show. We were very fortunate that day in Vegas was like 75, 80 degrees. It was a beautiful day, clear skies, because the FSW arena, there's no big locker room where most of us are getting changed outside. So, but it was a beautiful day. So I'm very, very fortunate for that, because it could have not been in Vegas. It could have easily been 100 degrees. So, it's, you just getting ready for shows. I knew who I was working with, so I knew it was going to be, we call it in wrestling like an off night, like a easy night, right? It doesn't mean you're phoning it in by any means, but it means like you're working with somebody who just gets it. So working with Gangrel, Zach Clayton, and then being in a team with Stallion Rogers, Kurt Stallion, I knew immediately that, like, all right, well, this is going to be easy. Right. So we had a fun little tag match. The match I definitely was looking forward to the most was the singles match. And there's nothing against them. I just enjoy singles matches more than tag matches.
It's the resume though. It doesn't hurt the resume when you.
It doesn't. And I've worked with Matt before. So this is the 4th time I'm working with Matt. And so we kind of know what each other does. My stuff's pretty simple. His stuff is great. The guy's a killer. right? Like Matt could beat the shit out of any of us. But everything he does is just so smooth. It's just everything looks great, and he's not. He could easily kick through my skull, right? But everything is safe, and he's a tremendous worker, and I'll always back him for that. I think he's just one of the most underrated wrestlers.
Right.
But yeah, it was just you gotta, you can get up for stuff like that. I got up for the match with Matt, and of course, I also believe that it's about presentation. So as soon as the match was over with Gangrel and Zach Clayton, got out of my gear, changed back up, which I hate because I hate lacing my boots. I hate it. It's the worst part of any wrestling show. It's such a pain in the ass to lace them all the way up. But I took them all off, changed everything up, boom, put new gear on, just because I believe that's what you should do. I shouldn't come back out there with the same gear, only an hour later with sometimes some of the same fans that stuck around. And kudos to those fans who showed up, because the FSW arena, it's not very big. It probably seats about 120 people. It's a really small place, intimate, but it was packed. It was packed, and there's kudos to BRCW, kudos to CCW, promoting, getting people there, because I heard there was a show there a few nights later, and there was like 5 people. So it's off the beaten path. It's like 15, 20 minutes away from the strip. People have to Uber there. Ubers are not cheap, but they did. People got there, and it was a really cool atmosphere. So it was an awesome CCW show. Really, both shows were awesome. And the CCW show was a really great show. I mean, Josh Bishop, LJ Cleary, Stallion Rogers, Riddle, myself, Shotzi, Izzy Moreno. It was a really, really, really up and coming female, Kristen Blaze, J-Rod. So I think the card was awesome. So people made it out for that, and they really enjoyed it. So I can't say enough about it. I think they did a tremendous job. So kudos to both companies, BRCW, CCW, and the fans for just making the investment to get out to the FSW arena.
WrestleCon. Obviously, you said you were there.
Yeah,
let's talk about it. I mean, I know you were there to meet fans and supporters, but like, did you get to, as a fan growing up, did you get to meet, aside from you just when Smash, you spoke with Smash, and who were the legends or anybody you met that you were like, wow,
at this point, I've done a few conventions, and you see a lot of the same people. But of course, my favorite wrestler of all time is Kevin Nash. So we become friendly. He came up to me now when we see each other, I'll sit down and talk to him. I went over, I shook his hand because he was busy. I didn't want to take up too much of his time because he always has a huge line. So it's hard to find time to talk to him. But then he got up a little bit later, came over, gave me a big hug. So, that's just cool to always see him. I saw, Mick Foley was always a favorite of mine, so I got to see him as well. We've met before, and it took him a second to remember. And then I was like, Ben Bishop. He's like, oh my God, yeah, I see all your stuff online. So it's cool to get recognized as seeing that. And then Billy Gunn and Road Dogg are always great to see. Messing around with them, it was real funny. I was waving over to Brian. Brian, what's up? I started walking over. He goes, man, you don't have to come over here. I don't work there anymore. Don't think you have to kiss my ass. I started dying laughing. Went over, gave him, dabbed him up, talked to him for a bit. Saw Billy, and I'm like, look at Billy trying to remember how to spell his name as he's writing down. And he looks at me, smiles, and goes, "No, man, I'm trying to forget how to spell my name at this point." They're just funny guys. JBL was across from me the whole time, so me and him were ribbing each other.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
JBL from the ass pounding agency.
Yeah. So we were. So and Ron Simmons is a funny guy too. So we're going back and forth. I'm yelling at Ron, "Hey, say the thing." Just and he's laughing, and JBL, I keep doing the hook 'em horns because we did a podcast together where I said I was from Texas too, and ribbing him with that. So it was, and then just all the other boys, it's always great to see Chris Bay, the guy that talk about, just one of the most positive individuals.
Shout out Chris Bay.
Shout out to Chris Bay. Saw a lot of the new ID talent as well, and I think they're all tremendous. I think I have to use their Fed names. I don't know if I can use their Kari Ball and Gianna Capri. I think that's her name. I'm sorry, Fallen Gray. I don't know what the Fed name is. I don't know what her name is now. But
Fed names.
I got to meet a lot of them for the first time because we all follow each other online, so we're all internet friends, but getting to meet them in person, it's just cool. That's my favorite. I was sitting with Richard Holiday, and we always said, the best part about the conventions, of course, we want to make money, but we just doing loops, just walking around the convention hall and talking to people, bullshit, and having some fun. Because you can always get the same people in one area together. So
Right.
when you're able to do that, it means so much more to, just to, especially because we'll follow each other online. So actually getting to meet in person is great.
So we're heading to the second half of the show. Look, that's Napster P, aka Nap God. I think he is late to the party. That's Big Trouble Ben Bishop. Ben is a little upset right now, Nap, because we spoke behind the scenes and he said, man, I really don't appreciate the tardiness from people. Like, I mean, just you need to get it together. And I said, I apologize. I'll start,
Pissed.
My whole thing went literally. All the lights went. So I'm in the dark right now. I apologize.
He'll believe everything. We're just kidding. No, we're just kidding. We're just playing. But honestly, Ben, if we just got a little bit more time, that's cool. I mean, we always can.
Of course, man. Keep going. Yeah.
But it's great to meet you, Ben, by the way.
Great to meet you too, man. I'm kidding. You're totally fine.
Your AEW, so I know everybody, you hear the tribalism, we hear all that stuff, but for somebody who's been able to kind of get a tryout in the system from both, we'll just say what it is, major brands, like what are for those who are interested to just say, oh, you failed WWE, all this stuff, or you were just there's experiences there, and not a lot of people are fortunate to be able to experience both major brands. What was that like for you? It doesn't even matter about contrast or comparison, just your experiences from both sides, because I mean that's definitely
I mean, so like, what do you mean with like AEW and WWE? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, your experiences.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I've been fortunate enough to have 3 matches at AEW, and I got to work all awesome people. My first one was against Barrett Bronson, who's obviously now in TNA and just absolutely, you killed it on the indie scene. I couldn't be more proud. What a nice guy. Great wrestler, even better person. 10 as well, Preston Vance. Also become friendly with him through the years. Awesome guy. Now in the frat house with my buddy Jack Jameson. So I hope that they continue to get shown because they're awesome. That the act is great. And I think they need more. They just need more TV time. And then Roderick Strong, a guy who's been doing this for such a long time, a veteran of the game. And that's the one that obviously popped off the most because it was on TV. It was an interesting day, to say the least, because I'm such a big guy and we had such a short match. And but you know what? I could have sat there and I could have, felt sorry for myself and said like, oh, I wish I was getting more in. I wish I was just jobbing out. I wish I could do something else. But you got to tell yourself like, hey, you got to play the cards as they're dealt. And that's what not to use a shitty Vegas pun. I just decided that I needed to try to make some chicken salad out of my own personal chicken shit. Not saying anything about Roderick. He's not chicken shit at all. The guy's fucking incredible. But for me, like what can I do here to make this, palatable for myself? More than just getting on TV, waving and saying, I'm happy to be here type thing.
Exactly.
So I came up with that stupid pose, just me turning to the camera and pointing to myself, which I've never done until that night. And then I thought about a couple of videos I want to make out of this, have some fun with it. And that was that. It was on Rampage, so I was able to promote it for a week and pretending like it was going to be the biggest debut ever, right, since CM Punk in AEW. And I was like, this could either go over great or it can go over poorly. I think it went over great. I think some people did not care for it or did not like it and thought I was making fun of AEW, but I wasn't. I was just having fun. I was promoting the show, and at the end of the day, it was the second highest rated Rampage in 2024. So I don't know. Do the math. So that was that. I since then I obviously have not gotten called back, so maybe it did rub some people the wrong way. It is what it is. I think they're a great company. I got some friends that work there. Shout out to the new TNT champ, Kevin Knight. I've trained with him a few times. Unbelievable talent. He'll be in the main event picture sooner rather than later. And I can go down the line. Ton of great people that work there. And I wish them nothing but the best. Tony Khan's a really nice guy. Really, really nice guy. And he's been nothing but kind to me as well. So I think there's of course the internet chatter both ways. People can say what they want. I think they're going to be around for a very long time. They're doing some great things. And then with WWE, yeah, in 2021, I had a tryout. I knew then I wasn't ready. And so when I got the no, I was kind of like, yeah, I get that. Like I wasn't like really that devastated. I kind of had an idea like I need to be more like I need more work. I don't feel comfortable enough being there right now. So if they said yes, obviously I would have went. But at that point I was like, okay, I get why they said no. But so then in 2025, I was contacted by, the recruiter there. And in 2024, and just like kind of said, like, keep doing your thing. And then I heard that there was going to be a tryout during SummerSlam weekend. I heard that around March. So I started trying to get to different training schools. So shout out to some training schools I went to. Fighting Spirit. It's the Grizzled Young Vets Pete Dunne School in Sanford, Florida. I also went to train with John Davis. Currently, he moved his school to Georgia. I'm not sure what it's called now, but John Davis was a guy who was an Evolve East Coast guy. Awesome wrestler. Got to train with Natty and TJ in the dungeon. And then also shout out to a few times I went down to the Foundation with Ace Steel. Unbelievable training facility that he had, or unbelievable training he has there. All the facilities are not in these like big fancy places, right? They're just kind of like storage facilities with a ring in it. So it's weird to call it a facility, but his training is I'd say some of the best. So anybody looking to get into wrestling, the Foundation with Ace Steel, Foundation of Professional Wrestling, the Harley Raceway. So he'd be mad if I didn't mention that. Is really one of the best places to train, right in Orlando, very close to the PC. Right. So I did all that training, got prepared, found out I got the tryout. It happened in July. I was ready to go. I was in the best physical shape I've ever been in, aesthetically, conditioning wise. And then I just, I'm a humble guy, but I'll say it. I kicked ass at this tryout. I really did the best I could. I did even though every drill is made for smaller guys, I did everything, did everything I could. I heard from the head writer there that my promo was one of the best that he heard in the week. Just able to had good matches. Even when I asked for feedback, I was like, yeah, here, this thing here, there, and there, but nothing really. You're doing really well. So I'll be honest, man, I thought I had it in the bag. I thought it was kind of a set thing. And they always were putting over my social media. They were saying all this. And then when I heard a month later that they were like, yeah, it's a no, it was pretty devastating, because I was everyone I heard from was just like, oh yeah, you're good. And they were like, I'm hearing things from all these people that they're like, oh yeah, you were one of the standouts, you were this. And then when they just said no, I was kind of just like taken back, right? But it is what it is, man. Like I said, it's either you can sit there and feel sorry for yourself, or you can get up and say, what's next. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do. It's hard. It's definitely wrestling's mental. It's mostly mental. It's harder mentally than it is physically a lot of the times, because it's so subjective. If I was playing basketball and I'm putting up 30 and 15, it don't matter who I know or who likes me. Like I'm gonna be on a team. Like no one's gonna say no to me. But it's wrestling, where if you're putting up the equivalent of 30 and 15 every night, doesn't mean you're going to get a job. There's a ton of guys in the indies right now who aren't signed to contracts, who are putting up the equivalent of 30 and 15 every night. Right. Look at Richard Holiday. Look at the Joe Alonzos, man like Doris. I'm like Danny Limelight. I can go down a list of really tremendous. I'll put Joey Janela up there too, even though he was signed before, still killing it. Every single night he goes out there. Mance Warner. Charles Manson, it's just Josh Bishop. I don't think he's signed. I don't know if he signed to MLW. I don't think he is. But so like there's a ton of guys. So it's we're all sitting here, and then we see some individuals who might be signed, who they were just like, could we give more? Could we be the ones who could, get like add more value? Some individuals are there. And me and Holiday, we're really good buddies, and we talk a lot about this, and because we're both in similar positions. We're both Matt Cardona guys. Not sure if you heard that we were put over by Matt Cardona on the Cody Rhodes podcast. No big deal, kind of a big deal. But so we talk about it, and it's like, hey, we might not be signed. We're not in TNA or AEW or MLW or NWA, right? But
I mean,
at the end of the day, like. We're getting.
like
thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I think we should be too. But what we realize is like we have more name value than some of these guys who are signed to some of these companies. Like we're getting flown out to shows. They're not. There's some of these guys, even if they're signed to Ring of Honor or TNA, they're not getting flown across the country. They're not setting up shop at WrestleCon, having people pay for their autograph, taking pictures with them. So it kind of tells me, it's like, hey, what's the point of wrestling? You want to make money. You want to get notoriety. You want to do this. And, if we're doing that, like, do I need 3 letters next to my name per se? Would it be great? Yeah, it would be, because I'd like to be on TV. But nowadays it's not like the 90s or the early 2000s anymore. Like social media is there. And like, what's mainstream? And Holiday tweeted that the other day about like, someone's like, oh, I can't wait for you to be mainstream. And he was like, what's mainstream nowadays? Like, I feel I'm more mainstream than a lot of wrestlers right now within obviously the lexicon of professional wrestling. And I thought about that. Like, that's so true. It's like, we all have this like mindset of that, like, oh, we got to be on TV. We got to be on TV. We got to be on TV. But, you can be incredibly successful not being on TV. Like Effie, like he's the one I will always bring up when it comes to this. Like Effie's never been on TV. He's never had a contract. And Effie's one of probably the most famous independent wrestler that has not been on TV right now. So, and he's made a living doing it. So, you see individuals like that, and I'm just like, what? It's cool. 'Cause like I previously mentioned, going to these conventions, it's not like people don't know who I am. Like we're walking down the strip and people are like, oh, the Matt Cardona guys, it's like people are saying it. I could have these. I had one guy like when I said like, hey, maybe I think it's kind of weird that people follow wrestlers in airports and all that. And someone's like, oh, you're just mad. No one recognizes you when you're out. I'm like, well, buddy, I was getting recognized all week in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was with my wife last weekend in the airport, nothing to do with wrestling. And 3 people come to me and was like, oh, I know you're from TikTok. And I'm just like, I don't even have a big TikTok following, which is crazy. It's like 9,000. But like, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, I just getting my face out there. So people are recognizing me, so, and I'm not on TV. So, it's a testament that like, social media can really be so beneficial, and people give it shit and they act like, oh, it's below me. Like social media is below me. But it's really not. Like Cardona's kind of gave the blueprint to so many indie wrestlers, and really more should follow it.
Yeah, you said something, a lot of, I try to, advise some of these people is mainstream. That's a key. Performance in the ring, great. Can you cut a promo? Great. But what is your brand going to look like with your relationship with the fans? Obviously inside the ring, how is that chemistry going to look? How is that chemistry going to look outside on your off day, or not your off day, but off hours? Like how is that? And what a lot of people don't understand is social media, whether it's the worst thing or the best thing, it's a pop culture phenomenon. And believe it or not, you a part of this, and you're a part of not just the mainstream, but the pop culture phenomenon of these social media brands, from X to TikTok and Facebook, things like that. So like and it's not, hell, son, we're not blowing smoke up your ass, just to let you know. We ain't here lighting up a whole propane gas tank here. But no, look, are you Big Daddy cool, Big Carney cool side? Oh, absolutely. Can you go inside the ring and get down? Absolutely. Can you go and piss off the fans if you need to? Absolutely. Can you cut a promo? Absolutely. The biggest part about it is that you can build yourself a brand, and you have legitimized your own brand just by promoting yourself in any way that you can. You're a marketing genius, and people don't see that you have to market yourself that way. Whether it's making fun of other IWC folks, bringing out, oh man, this happened to me, but let's make the best of it, or just experiences that you've had. You're right there on that cutting edge, and people don't understand that. Like you said, you're major without a major deal is what I look at it. You're major without a major deal.
That's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. I like that.
And you're right. There are a lot of people out here that, yes, they're striving. Of course, everybody does. They striving to get those 3 letters aside from their name. But there are some, like you said, that have already built a reputable name for themselves. That, you know what? Even if I don't have those 3 letters, I'll still be good on my career. I'll still be good looking back on my legacy because I built this brick by brick. I'm hammer by hammer, nail by nail. I built the house. I laid the foundation. I can pass this legacy on, and people are going to see this for as long as this internet exists, long after we all gone. And so that in itself, what you're doing, a lot of people look at it laughing. That's cool. That's great, because at least what you're doing is you're still building a relationship with the fans. And in my opinion, that's how you build on a legacy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, and you're 100% right. It is branding. And you said marketing genius, which is funny because I never consider myself that, right? I'm just like, I always say, I'm just Ben. I'm just doing, like, I guess kind of, I'm doing it by indirectly, or I'm doing it by accident of like marketing myself, because that's what I just think it needs to be. Like, we're playing characters, we're playing roles here, and social media, even though like majority of what I say, it is me. Like, I'm not, Big Carney Cool, Ben Bishop. That's just a Ben up to 11, right? Like me up to 11. But still, a lot of it is playing a part, like jokes, making jokes, having fun. I just want to be constantly, putting out content and being out there. Because you want to stay in front of people, and even if people don't like it, it's like, well, I see them everywhere. It must be doing something right. It just, you gotta keep that up, because perception is reality at the end of the day. And if anybody, if they see it's like, oh, you're doing a bunch, and Matt says all the time, it's just make everything you do feel as important as possible. Because if you're sitting there being like, I don't know, this show is whatever, and I don't really want to post it, or it's like, I'm not feeling it this week. I'm just gonna take the week off from posting anything, or, if you start doing that, and then wrestling moves so quick, people are going to forget about it the next day. They're going to move on. They're going to move on. Just like everything, every show, every time I might have like a fear of missing out because I wasn't booked on a certain show, it's like, hey, you know what? In a week, everyone's already forgotten about that show, and we're moving on to what's next. And that's why I can constantly make content, because if I just did one thing and one video popped off, or the first one of me walking in the house and saying I won the title with my wife, and I was just like, oh, I'm the guy from that one video you saw that one time that went kind of viral, I would feel so silly. I see a lot of people like that, where they're just known for one thing. You just do the one thing, right? And that's great. If that gets them over, that's perfect. If it gets them paid, that's perfect. But I want to be more versatile, so I want to keep out putting different things, show that like I can be funny, I can be serious, I can do all these different things, play these different roles. And just because I think to be a complete performer, you should be able to do these things. And as, of course, I don't have the TV to do that, but I do have my phone, and I do have social media, which I can get my point across, or get my content out there.
Well, the thing that I will say that's underrated about you is like you know how to, well, first of all, you know how to be very relatable to people. Like when we were watching, a lot of your skits and everything, like even a day in life of a wrestler, like, you were actually just like showing the true you, like how you're connecting with fans, and the way how you were trolling. So like, I look at you and you're multi-talented. So I don't look at you as just like a wrestler. I look at you as like a multi-talented person, which I think a lot of people who are in, a similar position should like, because see, like you said, other people, they'll probably, look at it, oh, I can't wrestle, so then I'll quit. And then, they have to, but you just like, you're like, nah, you found something that clicked, you kept developing it. And then like, now you just get it. And the thing is, though, is you can either trigger somebody, but you get a reaction. And that's what I don't
Exactly.
think people understand is that you get the reaction, which
Mhm.
it's
That's
funny because
support.
he's always been telling me, he's like, if you can get a reaction, then you won. Then you won, because
Exactly.
right there, it doesn't matter what you do or anything, people are gonna look and they're gonna click. And you know how, like, yeah, like someone will be like, oh, who are you and all that. Like, hey, when you go to TikTok, there you are. When you go to YouTube, there you are. Even like X, all over. So it's like, so I look
That's
at
right.
that as
That's
like,
a perfect way to say it. I mean, you know,
yeah,
at first, when it first happens, you know, when you first start getting a little bit more steam, you know, and because at the beginning everyone's supporting you, right? Everyone says nice things to say about you, and you know, and you might have a few comments here and there, say people saying nice things, and you're like, oh man, everybody loves me, everybody loves me. And when I first started doing content, you know, up until like the beginning of 2025. It was all kind of, you know, sunshine and rainbows. I wasn't getting a lot, a little bit here and there, but mostly everything. I was like, man, I got to figure this out. A lot of people, everybody loves me. And then, you know, once you make that one thing, I remember, I think the first one that people went nuts over was when I did like a casual fan watching Raw versus an internet fan one. It was kind of like almost a prelude to Tribal Chief. And like, it was like after the first Raw on Netflix, and people went berserk over it. Like berserk, just went nuts. And I was just having some fun. And you know, I ended up putting up something, and I was like, hey, I didn't mean to offend anybody here. I was just thought it was a funny thing. This is what I was trying to get across. And I don't want to name drop or say, but somebody that's currently in WWE reached out and just said, hey, like, sent me this big long voice message and just said, like, hey man, listen, don't apologize to these fucking people. Like, they don't care. They're weaponizing victimhood right now. They're trying to make you feel bad. They're miserable. They don't actually give a shit. They see that you're doing well, and they want to try to bring you down to their level. It's like, so don't apologize. You did nothing wrong. Like, nothing you did was wrong. You're not offending anybody. He's like, in any way that's comes across as over the top offensive. It's like, it's just how they're going to be. So, and that was that resonated with me from that day on. And I just realized, like, you know, you just got to be yourself. And if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. If everybody loves you, it's probably not going to work, because people are going, especially in something like professional wrestling that is so subjective. I'm like, hey, if people can call Roman Reigns a horrible wrestler, then people have some dumb opinions, and like, people can call me a bad wrestler. Like, who am I to think like that just because like, I'm not liked and feel bad about it? I mean, people don't like Roman Reigns, who just had one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time last night. Like, people don't like CM Punk. People don't like Daniel Bryan. People don't like John Cena. You know, and some of the guys have been the cornerstones of wrestling for the past 20 years. So it's like, why am I getting mad if someone doesn't like me? You know, people are going to have their opinions. So I learned at that point, you know, so then like that, it's just like, you got to roll with it. And does it get to you? Yeah, of course it gets to you every now and then, right? Like, because you might have days where you're feeling sorry for yourself and you feel bad. Like, I wish I was signed, or I wish it was this, you know, someone else gets signed, I don't get signed, and you see that bad comment and you react, because we're human. And I'm the first one to say, I probably shouldn't be reacting to this, but you know what? You caught me at the wrong time. Or, you know, and I'll admit it. Like, I'll give the people the engagement that shouldn't have the engagement. But it happens, right? I try to joke around about it, make light of it sometimes. Like when someone called me the worst person imaginable for working against Matt Riddle, and I put up the picture said like, oh, this is a bad time to promote my next match. It was just me versus Satan. I thought that was funny. That was just funny. You know, I was just thinking, like, you know, I'm like, okay, just to me, that's funny. But of course, you know, then I was called every phobic in the world because I did that, for some reason. So I don't know what the correlation was, but it, you know. So I don't take it that serious. A lot of people have bad opinions, and it is what it is, but they're entitled to them, you know, so I'm not going to fight somebody about it. I'm getting into it with somebody right now because I just asked the question. Did you guys see the video of CM Punk throwing the phone out of the person's hand in the lobby?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Whatever your opinion is what it is, right? I don't think people should follow people, and no matter who you are in hotels and airports, you'll have the contingent of this comes with the territory type people, which I find very odd. It's like, just be a regular human being. But whatever. I asked the question, And I just said, no matter what you think about this, who are you showing this video to? Like it's like going to a concert and taking a bad concert video and being like, hey buddy, check this video out of me at the concert with the horrible sound quality and you can't see shit. Like nobody wants to watch those videos. So I'm like, who are you going up to your friend and be like, hey dude, watch me follow this celebrity through a hotel to their elevator when they want nothing to do with me? Like, that's why I just asked that question. And somebody's mad. I'm like, I just asked the question. Like, why? Who's watching this? And it's like, well, they're allowed to watch what they want. They can show their friends if they want to. I'm like, then that's your opinion, and I had mine. There we go. It's over. It's over. You're getting mad over this. I asked a question. I simply asked a question, and it's like even when you just ask a question, and I shared my opinion of like, I think this is kind of weird. I wouldn't watch this video. It's like, oh well, you're wrong because they should be able to do. Like, oh man. Like go do something else. Like get off the internet if you can't handle something.
Oh my God. I think we're gonna piss some people off here. And again, we appreciate your time very much.
Oh yeah, you're good, man. We're having fun. Keep going.
Man, I only wish I was here sooner. I wish I didn't the lights just went out. So I'm here like with two little flashlights. Flashlights.
He said he's running it like Handmaid's Tale. All right, we're not gonna get there. Okay, so somebody did say, can you ask this question? The ESPN reporter, we spoke about it last night too, but who I'm not sure if you've seen the post about. He said, well, I will not be covering WrestleMania this year because WWE blocked my access and rejected my credentials. Not sure if you've seen that, but then R-Truth, everybody was defending, and the whole pitchforks came out. They lit him on fire, and then R-Truth came out, and Ron Killings. Well, actually, I think that was Ron Killings that came out.
Yeah, that was Ron Killings. Yeah, that
said what he said.
R-Truth.
You saw what he said?
I saw what he said.
Yeah. So your
my opinion on it.
On this. Yeah. What were your thoughts?
Honestly, I didn't. At the end of the day, I didn't have a strong opinion on Andre's sale being not getting a. It doesn't seem like he likes it anyway. I don't know why he wants to be there. So like, what's the point? Like, why do you want to actually even be there anyway if you don't like it? But I don't know. That's journalism, so I don't know enough about journalism to really speak on it. So maybe he should be allowed to be there. Maybe he shouldn't. I don't know how all this all works, but. At the end of the day, people, were saying it's because he gave him bad grades, this, that, and the other. But it just turns out I don't think the talent likes him. They don't want him around. And, if that's the case, that's their prerogative, I guess, right? Like, I don't know how it works in, like, the NBA or the NFL when it comes to, like, press and who has the rights. I think that comes down from the NFL of who's allowed to be in the room. And, of course, it's an objective sport. And so people are going to report what they see or what they hear. And you're going to have your beat writers who are going to have their opinions, the famous one in Boston's Dan Shaughnessy. So, you're going to have those type of guys that are going to, like talk shit about the team if they're not performing well, about the coach or about a certain player. But, in wrestling, it's kind of different because they kind of paint the story themselves, right? Like it's not an objective thing. They don't have to have. If they didn't want, they wouldn't have to have any media in the building if they didn't want to. I just don't know how it works. And is he accomplished? Of course. Like he's at ESPN. He has a job for a reason. He obviously is good at what he does. But there must have been people saying like, we don't like this guy. Like he did say something about R-Truth. He used the word coon. And he said that, that's not a cool thing to say. Like, and R-Truth's like, hey, I'm going to hold on to this forever. And if there's any way I can get you not allowed to be in there, then so be it. I don't know if he apologized. I don't know what the backstory is. But like, that's kind of a messed up thing to say. And like, as I know, sometimes things you say or post or say, like there are going to be repercussions and you got to deal with it. And if that was the reason, then I get it.
If you looked at the posts, you would see people were literally tweeting like the picture of what he was saying for multiple years about
R-Truth.
R-Truth. You don't talk about. See, this is where I think people start taking the reality from this the fantasy and the wrestling side and everything, you don't talk about family, you don't talk about race, and you don't talk about wishing death on anybody.
Yeah.
So when you do those three, like, you're gonna get a reaction from because obviously now you're making it personal, and that's what happened in the situation. That's like he was doing those three things, and he didn't get R-Truth, the happy-go-lucky guy. He got Ron Killings, the guy that's going to go over there and smack the hell out of him.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think he might be thinking like, again, I don't want to speak for him, but maybe he thinks that like he can shit on R-Truth because he's a joke, because he's a comedy character, and it's like, hey, there's a reason that Ron Killings has been hired by WWE for all these years. He must be obviously ridiculously respected, right? Even if he is playing his role as a comedy character, it doesn't just because he's not a top guy. He's been there for 20 some odd years, and there's a reason. So, if you're coming at a guy like that, even if you think it's like, oh, whatever, he's the comedy low card guy, like I can shit on him all I want. You gotta think about it. You gotta really think like, well, no, he's playing his part. It doesn't mean he's a low card or he's not
an OG
important.
in there.
He's an OG, So it sucks that things like that have to happen. But I'm sure Andres Hale will be fine, and he'll move and he'll go on with his coverage. And again, I'm sure he's very good. I don't read his stuff, and nothing I don't like doesn't mean I don't like him. I just don't read a lot of ESPN articles. But I'm sure he's very good at his job, and things will be fine. But again, I think it's just that's WWE's prerogative. If they want to say no to somebody, it is what it is.
I haven't rolled yet. I'm been kind of disintegrating in my product over here, but let's piss some people off some more. Let's see what happens.
Okay,
we're gonna piss somebody off maybe.
Okay.
As a fan, you're gonna take your experience just watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Even to the state of now. All right, we're gonna do it. Fuck it. All right. Is Ben a WWE or an AEW fan?
That's a good question. So I grew up with WCW. So WCW, I was first a WCW fan before WWF. Because when I turned it, I loved the NWO, Nash, Hogan, Hall. Like those are my favorites, right? Steiner, DDP, of course. Those are the guys. Jarrett. Those are the guys I really, really liked. And obviously, as a kid, you watch everything through different lenses, right? So when people ask, like, what do you like? Do you like nowadays versus older days or anything like that? I'll always answer, well, it's hard to say because you were a kid. Like, it's just you watch it differently as a kid. There wasn't an internet. There wasn't anything ruining it. When I say what I'm more of a fan of, I'd probably like the style that WWE puts out. I would probably say that that's more a liking of what I personally like. I think that I think what AEW does is amazing. Like I really do. I think that their in-ring work is bar none. It is some of the best. I think what they are able to do athletically is some of the best wrestling in the world. When you have guys like Ricochet and Ospreay, who there's no one that can do what they do. MJF, who's really one of the greatest promos I think of all time, and gets me hooked into any program that he's in. I've already talked about Kevin Knight and how talented I think he is, and we could put Speedball in that category as well. And the women, like the Willow Nightingales of the world, and of course Toni Storm, what everything that she did. Now, and I do think there's a ton of talent there. I just think that the style, I'm more accustomed to watching WWE. It's just more of what I grew up on, more of what I've liked. I'm not really I didn't. Again, this is not putting down any of these type of wrestling techniques, but like I'm not a huge Lucha Libre fan, not a huge like fan of like Japanese wrestling or like the like All Japan style or the New Japan style. I just never watched it. It wasn't exactly for me, right? So that's why I grew up with the WWF style, and that's just what I like. And that's probably, if I had to, gun to my head and that was my answer, that'd be my answer. But I respect all styles. I respect everybody that does Lucha Libre. They're amazing. I got to work Psycho Clown down at like 2 minutes from the border in Texas. And it was cool. It was fun. Like, working. I've never done it before, but it was really, really cool to like do that. I've never worked any type of like Japanese, like strong style type matches. I mean, there's been some stuff in matches working with the guys, a guy like a Riddle, does kind of similar stuff.
Yeah.
Some of those, what those guys do. But I've kind of been trained in like, you can call it the Memphis style of wrestling, more, being more showboaty, being more like, connecting with the fans, making it more of like a cinema aspect of it. That's just what I was trained like, and that's what I've always really just liked. And the technical, like the wrestling and all that, is super, super impressive to watch. It's just not as much for me.
Well, that crushed Nap's dream, because he's like, I could see Ben Bishop. We were having a conversation about it before, and he said I could see him in maybe like a New Japan Pro Wrestling if he.
Oh, that'd be great if they want to pay. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm gonna still do my shit.
You know what it was. I watched your match with Matt Riddle, and I was like, yo, he would be perfect in New Japan because he would draw the crowd easily. Like,
I think,
but then you brought up Richard Holiday too, and that's like that was someone like they had like. I've been watching him for like a long time too, especially with the MLW and everything. Like that guy is another guy who's just underrated when it comes to the mic too, because like he can either make you laugh, get you heated, or like so. Hearing that, like I'm glad that well, personally, I think you guys will be a perfect team, to be honest.
We are technically right now in at Awesome Championship Wrestling. So we are we haven't had a tag match, but we are. It's like Diesel Shawn type situation.
Yeah. Nap said he's being very coy right now. He's not giving you the whole concept. He had some storylines for you.
All right, Nap, let's hear it.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. I don't think we should. But he says because his last name's Bishop, right? Why doesn't he become like a chess master? And he plays chess, not checkers, with his opponents in the ring. And I said, yeah, we're gonna put that one in the parking lot in the garage. We're gonna keep that one parked. And but honestly, I guess the segue is Ben Bishop.
Yeah.
I mean, I know your first name's Ben, but the Bishop. Oh, we want Tribal. Shout out to you, Tim. Listen, man, Tribal Keith, he's welcome anytime. I just look, man. If he represents whatever, that's something Nap loves. Nap's really a big mark for the IWC. He was screaming at the crowd yesterday. Nap told us to call him Nap Meltzer. He says, my Uncle Dave. And it's like, yo, we are not going to talk Uncle Dave.
Yo, you know what's crazy is like this man, like I'm sitting here talking, right? And this man changed my name to Hollywood Nap Hogan. And I was wondering the whole time, like, I'm just going. I'm wondering like what's going on. Like why is like people laughing? And it's like it says Hollywood Nap Hogan.
Oh,
so I was like, no, man, change my name to Macho Nap.
He's not being real.
Macho
I told
Nap.
him to be himself. So look, he preferred Owen Hart as the leader of the Nation Domination. That's just his mentality. That's just how he feels. I don't know where he said he preferred 8-Ball and Skull. That faction instead of, and I was like, listen, man, I don't know where you're going with this, but we're gonna keep this one off the air just for a little bit. But yeah, man, he always said, Owen Hart should have been the leader of the Nation. I don't even know why even Farouk was in there, and it's like, yo, that's pretty crazy to say, especially anyway. We're not gonna get into that, but look, let's get serious as we closing out, for you, and again, we appreciate all your time. And we've asked this before too. When it's all said and done, whether you want to talk about inside and outside the ring, and you're taking your last breath, what do you want your legacy to be about?
Yeah, and I've been asked this before, and the easy answer, right, is like I want to be world champion. I want to be this. I want to be that, and that's all great. We all do, right? We all want that. But what I really thought about this is like when Brody Lee passed away. And he's a tremendous wrestler. He's a guy I watched a lot, and his in-ring work was for a big guy, was very innovative and very and he could work with anybody. Some of his matches, like especially his match with Randy Orton in Elimination Chamber in 2017, I think was so underrated. How good he was as Luke Harper, of course, Brody Lee. But when he passed, yeah, there were people talking about how good he was as a performer and as a wrestler, but it was mostly because of how like good of a person he was and how like people loved having him around and just an all around really just like nice guy. One of the boys, a good brother is what we always say. And everybody had a good story about him. And that to me is more important than being a good wrestler any day of the week. And like whatever, if you're good in between the ropes, that's great. But if you're a shitty person, it kind of doesn't matter because again, it's subjective. So that's what I'd rather. I'd rather just, when it comes down to like what I want to be remembered by, I want to be remembered that, obviously I'd love to leave some type of legacy with wrestling, right? I'd love to be like, oh, he was a guy who utilized social media and, made a name on the indies and all that. That's awesome. Like, that's cool. And something I never thought I could do when I first started. I never thought, I'd be a quote unquote indie darling or anything like that. And, but I've been able to really, carve it out for myself. I'd much rather be known as like, Ben, he was a great guy to have around. We really enjoyed having him around and always did business well. And, wasn't someone who was backstabbing or politicking or anything like that. Even though we all do a little bit of it, but not too much. That's what I want to be remembered by. And I just want to look back and say, I always tell myself when like things aren't going well and I'm getting frustrated with stuff. I always say like, well, you know what, dude, just always remember like that 8-9-year-old kid watching wrestling, and if he saw you now, that kid would think you're the coolest guy in the world. So like, just keep doing that. Like, just understand that like you do this. And I say this because we all do this because we love wrestling, right? Like if anybody gets into wrestling saying like, I want to make a shit ton of money, like, yeah, cool. But like your priorities are wrong. Like it's never, if that's your only mentality, it's never going to work. I just want to be famous. I just want to make money. Like, great. It's good to have drive, but it's not going to get you to the next level by any means. You got to love it. You got to love the 8, 9, 10 hour drives. You got to love working for, $50, $100. Like that barely covers gas nowadays, right? You gotta be willing to be in the airport at 4 a.m. and getting off the plane, sitting in a building, sitting in some random venue, having the show, going back to a hotel when your flight leaves at 5:30 in the morning. You're gonna be there even earlier the next day. You gotta love sitting around and just waiting for your match. You gotta love the bad matches, the good matches. You gotta love all this stuff because and if you don't love wrestling at the end of the day, then it's not for you. So it's because it is such a sport that will give you so much, but also take so much. And if you focus on, or if your only goal is, I need to make it to the next level, you're going to miss all the fun in between. You're going to miss the journey. You're going to miss the relationships being made. And because that's what, at the end of the day, I really will hold dear is that type of stuff. I always, like, when people ask me about, do you miss playing basketball? Of course I do. I miss basketball. I really, really do. I miss competing. I miss the games. I miss that. I don't miss the 6 a.m. practices. I don't miss the 3.5 hour practices. Believe me, that's not what I miss. But I do miss the locker room. I do miss the camaraderie. And that's one of my favorite parts of wrestling is going to shows, seeing some of the boys, the girls, and just building a community and a camaraderie with all these people. And just that's really what I find to be so cool about professional wrestling. And I want to just be known as a guy who's positively contributing to it, and not a guy who's thought of as some asshole or some piece of shit. So
so I didn't expect that one at the end. Some asshole piece of shit. But you know what? Nevertheless, that's true. That's true. I mean, at the end of the day, your legacy is how you're going to cement it. I'm not going to lie to you, Ben. And again, this is not to blow smoke up anything because I haven't even rolled up.
No pun intended. No pun intended on this day.
Yeah, you're more than on your way because you have to embrace and love those sacrifices to be able to take that money. I mean, a dollar earned, is a dollar saved. A dollar saved is a dollar earned, no matter how much you save it. But at the end of the day, regardless if it's $50, $100 or whatever it is, this is the grind. This is the sacrifice. This is the dedication. And you showed yourself, hey, look, I'm all in. I'm here, and
Yep.
that's why I hope a lot of talent take note because and for those that don't know, promoters also be politicking behind one another's back. They got their own little feuds going on behind the scenes people don't know
Of
about.
course they
Oh, you
will,
gonna
of
be
course
on
they
this
will.
said show? You gonna be on this show? Oh man, I don't.
Oh yeah. Oh, they might do it more than us. So yeah.
Yeah, people didn't know that. So we're gonna have what we call a quick shoot, and it's not a shoot like that, but we're gonna a quick 10-second draw of 10 questions, and all you gotta do is just answer them. Cause we're gonna light it. Hold up, wait a minute. Do I got it? Oh yeah, here it is. You can't really feel it right now, but let me light that chair on fire. Hot. Let's make it hot. Ben Bishop, we're gonna put you in the hot seat.
Yeah.
You ready?
All right, let's do it.
Get it. John Cena or Kenny Omega?
John Cena.
The best opponent you ever had?
I've had a lot of great opponents, but Nick Nemeth.
Nick Nemeth.
Worst
I mean,
opponent you had.
if anybody's ever worked him and didn't say him as their top opponent, I'd be very, very surprised. So, Nick Nemeth.
What Nap said, worst opponent.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
But,
I can't. I know who it is, but I can't put it on.
Got you. That's perfect. But you do have one that you can. Be
I
like,
do have
damn.
one. Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
All right. So you spoke about fees. If you can, without getting too specific, what was like the lowest you ever got paid?
Oh man, nothing. So that's the lowest. A few times, but no. I mean, the lowest I've ever been $10. Was like I handed me. So you might as well just not pay me at that point. But yeah, $10.
What's the craziest flight you've had?
Oh, crazy.
The craziest
All right.
flight.
Yeah, I mean it's not. So I was coming back from I think it was Detroit. I was on a flight with Kerry Morton, and it's not a good story, but I mean I don't mean to. It was sad. I mean I think a guy had a heart attack on our flight, which was crazy. Which was great. We had to like divert back to Detroit, and not to be a downer, but that was if you ask craziest flight, that was crazy, and it was really unfortunate because it was just. I'm not gonna get into it, but that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. He's got a story too. He tells. We're not gonna get into that story that he tells. We should, but because we got some questions to ask real quick, maybe. Okay. Let's ask this. Pet peeve when it comes to the business when you're getting booked and whatever the case. What is a pet peeve when you book?
The biggest pet peeve of mine is I have two big pet peeves. I don't ask for much. And I just would really like a locker room that has ample space that you can at least just put your bag down and be able to get changed without having to find chairs or fight for just 5 feet of room. That's number one. Number two, any show that goes over 3 hours is a huge pet peeve, unless it's like a super show and you built up for it. And something like that, then okay. But if it's just a regular indie show and you're going 3+ hours and there's 12, 13, 14 matches, I hate that. I hate it.
We see you're a Patriots fan. Who's your least favorite NFL team?
least favorite NFL team, that would probably have to be. As Patriots fans, some people might say the Giants. I don't hate the Giants. They had our number. I don't hate the Eagles. But no, if I had to say, definitely the Jets. I'd have to say the Jets are my least favorite.
Does Big Ben like the dirt sheets? Yes or no? Including our own that we got here.
I do. I like them to an extent. I do. I think they do get a bad rep sometimes. But I do, especially the ones that are honorable. Like the Sean Ross Sapps of the world. I've always liked a majority of the people at Body Slam. So I'll say 99% of the people at Body Slam I've never had an issue with. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones out. There's a ton of good ones out there. There are some ones who are a little TMZ-ish. Yeah. And that's their business model, and it is what it is. But yeah, I think for the most part, I've had pleasant interactions with the so-called dirt sheets.
What's one wrestler you would want? Well, either past, present, future that you would want to spark up with?
Like smoke with?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got to do it with Riddle and RVD, so that's two.
Yep.
You know, so that's,
Never mind, yo.
yeah. So I kind of
You-
already did. Yeah. So I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I'm-
Yo, see, this is what I'm talking about. Is like, just
Sorry,
hearing this
YouTube.
story
Sorry,
is
man.
crazy.
Sorry,
Oh,
Jesus,
yeah.
pal.
Oh, because we did talk about. Was there ever a crazy situation when you went into a crowd that you were like, "Oh, this is getting a bit too much for me," and you had to bounce?
Going into a crowd? No, not really. I've never done that. Yeah, so there was never been an issue where I've had with like fans or yeah, I'm trying to think. Nothing comes to mind. Yeah, I never had like I never had like any super crazy fan interactions. I've had individuals online ask me for like my sweaty underwear and all that. Like, I don't know if that counts. But that was on. That wasn't live. Yeah, I've had that. I've had people ask for feet pics, underwear.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Used. I don't think I really have nice feet either. That'd be gross. Wanted me to put on my like a set of gear and take pictures of myself in the gear. I was like, what? No, like no.
Get it.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my
Gonna
god, bro!
We're not,
I tell my buddies who
one-
aren't in wrestling, I tell them all this stuff, and they're just like, "Why don't you do it? It's money." I'm like, "No, dude. Until you're in this position of being asked to do these like weird things, like then you'll realize that it's not worth $200."
and this is from both of the sexes, male and female. Huh?
Yeah, and I know, you know what? If anybody does it, I have nothing against it. I just don't
Yeah,
want to.
Yeah, just and it's crazy. I just can't imagine.
I don't
me
imagine. I
pulling
can't
up
imagine
and-
what the girls get in their DMs. My God, I can't even imagine it.
He said, "Yo, okay. I guess I'll end it with this because you did jump in the question that I asked about the dirt sheets for a reason. So you said, hey,
Yeah.
they get a lot of flack, that unnecessary flack. Do they deserve to be in the ring? Should they be in the ring? I'll say that.
The dirt sheets, meaning like if people like you guys.
Wrestling, yeah, the dirt sheets, yeah.
Wrestling.
Should
It's wrestling, dude. So the way I look at it is just like it's anybody can technically be in the ring, right? It's professional wrestling, so as long as like you're safe and as long as it's not, I don't mind whoever gets in any ring. Like
there you go.
yeah, it's because it's wrestling. It's not the NBA. It's not like you're taking Joe Schmo from down the street, and putting them on the Celtics and saying like, oh yeah, well he's a fan, let's have him play. That's not going to work. But it's professional wrestling. You can make anything work. I've seen, I obviously saw Sean Ross Sapp get in the ring. He's even trained a little bit, so he knows what he's doing. I saw him in the clusterfuck, and then like but even like on indie shows, I'll see, like if it's at a high school, you'll like the high school coach or something be in the ring, right? And then everybody loves it. So
Yeah.
There's places, and I thought last night Show Speed did great. It was like minimal stuff. He had his little like, viral moment and jumped through the table, and that's all he needed. He didn't need to go out there and work some 30-minute match with anybody. Jelly Roll in his role has done great. Bad Bunny has done tremendous. Obviously, Logan Paul's now full time, so I don't count Logan Paul anymore.
Hey Nat, fuck you, Nat.
He doesn't like Bad Bunny. You don't
Keep
like Bad
cooking,
Bunny.
man.
You know Bad.
No,
I
he
thought
doesn't
Bad
like
Bunny-
any of the celebrities.
You
He was
know-
shitting on all the celebrities. Him and our other co-hosts, all of them,
You're
all of
snitching
them.
on him?
So-
I told, I was like, Speed has potential, but I was like, oh my god, just stick to the wrestling stuff. But then Speed made a meme when it came to the LA Knight getting throwing him into the thing. But
don't you dare get
I'm just
involved.
saying, I'm not the biggest fan of having too many celebrities.
I get that. No, man, you're-
but it's like,
I mean, it shouldn't. It does get to a point of like, all right, okay, we get it. They have a big following, but then you ask yourself, like, how much of their following is actually watching wrestling, right? Like, is there actually a crossover, or are they just like, oh, I saw Jelly Roll did like he's doing that stupid wrestling thing. Do you get that, right? You get people that might be saying that type of stuff. So I don't know, and you never really will know. But I think how it's been handled has been as them in the ring. We can talk about if it's too much or not, but how it's been handled. They've all done a pretty good job, and testament to actually, shout out
Wow.
Shane Holmes, who trains a lot of the celebrities, and he does a really good job. Hurricane. So he's been able to really get a lot of these guys to be passable, and that's tough. That's in a short period of time. It's tough.
In the words of Tribal Keith, spoken like a true state guy. Man, honestly, Ben Bishop, thank you very much. Honestly, because that's true. I honestly agree. Look, sports entertainment factor
right here.
There it is. Big Trouble BB. Click on. Look at that. Look at that hand. Look at that fella right there in the shades. And, who is?
I never sets on a cool guy.
Ben Bishop or is that Thor?
Look at those traps too.
Look at look at it. Roddy Strong in a minute. No way, man. I don't believe it.
Yo, I have to ask. Has anyone went up to you and asked, like, have you thought about doing movies too? Like, has anyone?
People do, yeah. So I actually have a movie coming out soon. It's an independent movie. I don't know where it's going to be streamed right now, but once I find out, I will definitely be promoting it as much as I can. It's called Gentle Giants. It's a rom-com, and I'm actually playing the antagonist in the movie. I'm the bad guy. No. I'm actually Ben Bishop, because it has a wrestling aspect to it. So yeah, I am actually the bad guy. I'm really looking forward to it. We just finished our audio re-recording, and I watched some of my scenes. They did a great job filming it. It's a rom-com, so it's a little goofy, but it's good. It's a good goofy, and I think it should be pretty. It should be pretty good. The final product, I'm really looking forward to it. I think
you said rom-com, so that means you must be an anime fan too.
I'm not an anime fan at all, actually. No. So I know anime. I know anime is very rom-com-ish. I have heard that. I can't get into it. I can't get into anime. I've tried. It doesn't pique my interest.
It's not for everybody,
but also I'm not saying I'm a big rom-com guy. I'm just saying that I was cast to be in one, and I was, So but basically, if you think about it, I tried to base my character off of like Biff and like Shooter McGavin. Like, you think about that. That's kind of what my character is. In this movie.
Yeah. Now you're gonna make me watch Back to the Future. But anyway, look, Ben Bishop, Big Trouble. I know I want to talk to you off scenes because, and again, last question here, and I want you to have your final shout outs and your final moment to grace the mic on your own while we get off the stage. But are you doing any future podcasts? Are you co-hosting? Are you a part of anything in the future?
Not really yet. I did that fun big curtain jerkers with JBL and Casio. It's one of the Conrad's podcast trying to get off the ground. And like I saw JBL this past week, and he wants to keep doing some stuff. We filmed another video too. He's an absolute riot, JBL. Like we went into that podcast and I was just like, I was like, I don't know what this is going to be. Because Conrad's like, you want to do a podcast with JBL? And I always say yes to everything. So I was just like, yeah, sure. I'm saying, Jesus, I can't say no. Too much of a people pleaser. But so I said, yeah, sure. So I went down. I'm like, I wonder what this is going to be like. Like, I know you hear all the stories about JBL, like, locker room bully type stuff, all this like weird people like said stories throughout the years. It was the most fun, just like down to earth, easy. He likes to joke and rib and have a good time. So I'd love to do more with him. I think that we have a good chemistry. But other than that, no, man, I'm just, I would love to do more podcasts. I like doing podcasts as long as time permits. But nothing really like on the horizon.
Well, we're gonna have to talk because the Smoke Sessions is looking for another host, when time permits. I mean, we do shows, and obviously compensation and we always thought like, we have to find someone who is quote unquote mainstream, because at the end of the day, you got your ear to the streets, you got your eyes in the hood. You're right there live and direct like a news reporter, and I think it would be an honor to have you part of the show, which we'll talk behind the scenes more after this. Because again, we know we got, what I'm saying, we got you, and always want to show love. You showed us love too, and we thank you so much for this time. And right now, we want to give you this opportunity. You want any promotions, any upcoming events, anything? Go ahead.
Absolutely. So So nothing this upcoming weekend, taking a weekend off. It's really excited to go to the Georgia Renaissance Fair. We love doing that. It's a good time. But then in May, my May is absolutely packed. May 1st, I'm debuting at Big Time Wrestling in Newark, California against the only man in professional wrestling that makes me look small, Satnam Singh. So that should be something. And then on May, I get back to the West Coast. I'll be back to the East Coast the next day, because on May 3rd, at DWA, I'm wrestling against Psycho Boy Fodder with Angelina Love in his corner. So the 2011 TNA mark in me is going crazy. So I have that. And then May 8th and 9th, CCW. I get to wrestle against Matt Taven, who's been one of my favorites for years. I'm really excited for that.
Big
Tampa. And then at Port St. Lucie, I'm going to wrestle the WWID guy, Mike Cunningham. So a veteran versus a younger guy. So we got a good dichotomy there. And then the weekend after that, dude, is absolutely packed. I'm just going to do May because I have so much in May. May 15th, wrestling Carlito in Columbia, Maryland. May 16th, ACW Awesome Championship Wrestling. Well, I should say ACW Adrenaline Championship Wrestling in Maryland, Columbia, Maryland, May 15th. May 16th is also ACW in Poughkeepsie, New York. So, and I'm not sure yet who I'm wrestling. I know I am in Holiday's corner against Andrade, but I'm pretty sure I have a match that night too. So we'll see what ends up popping up there. May 17th, I'm going to the Worcester area for Beyond for a show on the 17th on a Sunday and on the 18th, which is a Monday. So those are for their Restivus Festival. It's a play on Festivus because it's for they're running a little festival for people that couldn't get out to Vegas. So it's going to be cool. So I'll be there Sunday and Monday. They're doing it all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but I'll be there for Sunday and Monday. And then the weekend after that, Memorial Day, do not have anything and much needed time off. But the weekend after that, I will be making my Arkansas debut at Razor Pro Wrestling. I'm not sure the match has been put out yet, but I believe I am going to be wrestling Sam Darnold. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, May is absolutely bonkers. So, but I'm looking forward to it. It's what we signed up for. To be busy. We want to be busy. So, and then
Indie Darling, Indie Alumni, Indie All-Star. Listen, hey, Nick, Mr. Khan, are you get somebody listening to this?
Both
one of the hardest workers in the business. Yeah. Bring them back.
Tommy Dreamer, Carlos Silva. What do you guys have?
Mr. Silva, look, MLW for Napster P's sake. He if we don't mention MLW on the episode, he'll freak. I apologize now.
I enjoyed my 1 minute in the Battle Riot. It was fun.
Hey, he said, Ben, it's been an absolute pleasure. Like honestly, you're probably one of the most humble, one of the most realistic. I did ask a couple peers, give your thoughts, and that was one of the words that struck. It was humble, humility, filled with class, respect. And look, we are going to talk because we need to get you for at least one day out the week for the show. Oh,
absolutely. No, we can make something happen, dude. We definitely. If you do them like especially like the afternoons, I have a lot of more availability because I try to keep nights open for real stuff. So
real shit.
I work from home. I can usually carve out some time. So
hey, happy 420 to you. And as they like to say, roll up, spark up, choke up, man. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Mr. Ben Bishop. No, not the chess master, Mr. P. Not the chess master, Ben Bishop.
Or the hockey player.
Is it not working? There you go. Yeah, or the hockey player.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Mr. Bishop, we're going to talk to you again soon, Ben. That's Ben Bishop right there. I don't want to kick him off the stage, but we got to, he's out of here. He said he's out of here. He's kicking out. Man.
By the way, follow the YouTube right here.
Follow.
Bishop, Big Trouble.
One
right
of
there.
the most humble. Took a lot of time to get with him. We didn't even really talk so much in a journey like we're going to talk about. That was one of the reasons why I didn't want to talk about WrestleMania just yet, Nat, because I definitely want to.
Bro, I can't believe my lights went out, man. Like
Hey, man. Hey. Don't worry about it.
the only thing, like, see,
Hey,
I'm
keep
pulling
that,
the dude. I
yo.
got a flashlight.
Keep that to yourself, baby. It's all right. Anyway, look, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, again. We appreciate everybody that's been tapping in with us. This is the 420 episode. Now I get to roll up. I didn't want to do that, man. Ben Bishop, look, this was just the icebreaker conversation. Let's believe he's got a story to tell, and we're gonna help tell that story. He's got a story to tell. You know what I love, Napster B? You know what I loved about Ben Bishop? I'm gonna tell you. All right, is that he loved the celebrity moments in WrestleMania.
Oh, bro, I know. Hey, I know you're. Yo, that's the main thing he's gonna talk about now. He's gonna be like,
hey,
I got Ben Jacuzzi. I got Ben Jacuzzi.
Hey, Nap. Remember what you did yesterday? I'm gonna do it one more time. Remember what you did to me yesterday? Look, I saw you shot 2 of them yesterday. I'm gonna just shoot one.
I really do that?
Yeah, you went like this.
No,
I saw it, motherfucker. You went like this. Look, you went like this. I saw it. I said, "Oh, he's shooting it up. It ain't the ring finger. This motherfucker, he's shooting both. Okay, this son of a bitch." Nah, but honestly, look, I didn't. You know, we want to delve into his story, but it's like when you have those initial conversations, it's just the icebreaker. You know, you get the icebreaker in there, the conversations. It's like when you go on a date. You know what I mean? You're gonna just
we'll get more realer as, like, you know, like when you know, because we're obviously gonna have him again back on the show. But as we saw, this man, his schedule is packed, but you know, it's good because this just shows like how much people want him, not only for the wrestling, but just to promote, just to be him. But yeah, come on, man, get this man's YouTube page up. He shouldn't be at 1K. He should be higher.
Please.
Get his social media up, like.
Oh, you know what I forgot again? Oh,
the promo. Oh well, we'll do it next time. This will be cool though.
Hold on, let me hit message.
Oh man. So.
Hold on.
That's what we're talking about though. When we're saying we're on the grind, we are on the grind.
Yeah, that was twice. Hold on, let me dude, honestly, yeah, I just sent a message. What a guy, man. I'm gonna roll up. Like for him, I couldn't just be like, oh, let me roll up. I'm gonna look. Nah, like I was zoned in. Like it was just, dude, great storyteller. If you have not seen any of his matches, dude can tell a story. It doesn't matter how much time you give him.
Bro, he can wrestle too. It's like he showed a like tremendous like.
He understands everything. He understands the entertainment factor. He understands that WWE is, you know, you have to have that entertainment factor. And look, man, I don't know what needs to be done or how it needs to be done, but somebody needs to put him on.
Yeah. I will say this. During the, I'm gonna definitely try to get a light. So.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it, man. Don't even worry about talking about that.
Bro, K-Dot. You know what's crazy? Remember yesterday? I was like, oh, I hope this shit doesn't go out. And I was telling you, I was like, yo, K-Dot. My luck is that this is probably gonna go out tomorrow. Well, it's the most important thing. Oh, my flashlight just died. God damn it. Oh, both of them just died.
Yo, Ben. Honestly, man, Ben Bishop is honestly probably one of the most humble. And I did speak with some peers, and that was the word that went around, and that was honestly like like on it. We'll have to figure out why. Hold on one moment.
Well, you know,
So yeah, it's raining on our side.
he should definitely be on one of these like brands. He shouldn't be, you know, freelancing like he's doing. He's multi-talented. Not only that, you know, he knows how to get the attention, and he knows how to basically like interact with the fans on a more personal level, not just like the character, but Ben himself. So I feel like, yeah, he definitely needs to be signed. I hope whoever's watching this pushes, because there's no reason why he shouldn't be signed. Like, it's crazy.
Like he should, right? Yeah, absolutely. Like,
But you see, this is what I'm telling you. Like, at times, is that, like, you know, guys like him, he said it at best. Don't do something unless you don't really love it. If you're in it for money, then, you know, that's one thing. But if you want to truly succeed with something, you have to love it. Like, right there, he actually loves it. He loves wrestling. He loves doing, you know, these funny random skits. He loves doing the day in lives. He loves showing people his life, you know. And look, he even said it, you know, obviously with the airport stuff, he's like, you know what, screw it. He'll still sign them. Still sign them, and, you know, just keep moving on. Like,
keep on keeping on. And guess what? He like WrestleMania 42. Take that, Nap. Take that, Dex. Y'all take that, suckers. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
You know, Ben,
about
you just unleashed something insane when it comes to this man, because he's never going to unrelive this moment.
Oh, we are gonna be evening up the odds here, Nap. You and Dex, me and Big Ben. Hey, and you know, when you did think of that, I mean, it was kind of smart at first, but I don't think he was liking the chess master. The chess master, Ben Bishop.
You know what I was gonna say is, like, you know, like, what was it? God, what was it? I was thinking like a Spider-Man like villain when it's just like, yeah.
Look, man, I think we can hit a goal. I'm not saying that same goal like yesterday. I'm not saying that one. But half of that goal that we spoke about last night, I think we can hit half of that. I think that's very in reach, which is pretty cool. Awesome, man. You know what I mean? Continue to pick up steam. Again, let me shout out to Ben Bishop, man, for real.
I'm just gonna let you know that I'm just here now, K-Dot, so I'm not going anywhere. Like, you know, that was over and done with. That was over and done with.
Oh, should we try to see how far we can go and keep this shit? Should we take this back to the good old days of the spaces here? Dude, oh my Lord. Now you got me on a challenge. I gotta roll up anyway. Nah, but honestly, man, no doubt. Don't worry about it. Things happen. You don't even have to even explain on stream.
You know what's crazy? You know I'm all about timing, so
yeah. Now we were just giving you a hard time. That's all, man. We were just giving you a hard time. We said, "Oh, we're gonna give him a hard time," and we showed it.
It does suck that I missed the first half, though. I wish I was here, because like I really like was like looking forward. I saw that he was also a sports fan. You know, diving into some sports. We could do that, you know, next time. So.
And we wanted to ask some of these questions because we want some of these fans that are all upset, right? I get it. Everybody has the right to their opinion, but why was Alvarez and Sean Ross Sapp in the match? Like, look, man, by all means, that's not your money. That's the promoter's money. That's the promotion's money. If they want to do what they want to do and see fit to that, they're going to do it. And all I did was ask him that question just so that way you little IWC knuckleheads can see. You see, y'all are the ones that have a problem. And the thing is, y'all aren't even on the show. I'm not saying that not a lot of talent will not have a problem, because you never know. There's always somebody that just doesn't like it. You know what I mean? A talent. But at the end of the day, dude, I'm glad he said what he said. Hey, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Hey, that's the way it should be. Don't pocket watch somebody else's money. If they get their money and they in Vegas and they want to spend it how they see fit, I'm not gonna look, man. If we're in Vegas and I'm like, look, man, I'm gonna go play the slots. Master P's like, I'm gonna go get some prostitutes. I'm not gonna be like, yo, what are you doing with your money? Look, man, he's gonna do his own thing. Like, honestly, like, if he's gonna say, look, I'm gonna just buy nothing but fast food. I'm not gonna drink no alcohol, nothing. I'm not even gonna gamble. I'm not gonna pocket watch this man. You spend your money how you gonna spend your money. That's exactly what the promoters are doing. And see, we didn't get into it yet, again, because this is just a conversation, an icebreaker. But he said it too. More than what the talent does. But a lot of these promoters behind the scenes, these indie promoters, really have beef with one another. They won't put it out there in the forefront, but they're talking shit, politicking behind the scenes, snaking one another. Like, and he said it happens more than you know, and more than what the talent do with one another. It's legitimate, brother. Like, that shit is real, and we'll definitely start diving into things like that. Not calling out names, but we'll dive into that. The shoot, you know what I mean? The shoot talk there. Yeah, it's an icebreaker, but eventually I want to be able to have that chemistry to where, look, man. Oh man, we got a weather thing. Turn that on. We got a weather alert here. Oh, terrorist alert here. Just kidding, man. Just kidding, bro. I'm about to give me another drink.
Lord,
no, honestly, look, what he said. My bad. Hold on. Damn, I haven't even smoked yet. Damn. Whew. Okay. So the shoot from the hip. You know how he didn't answer the question, right? About one question he didn't answer. I want to do it to where eventually we build up a relationship with these stars, and they got to take a shot if they're not going to answer a question. So in that case, when he didn't want to answer that question about, worst match, bam, he would have taken a shot. Like, we'll have to find off days and we can kind of set that up and plan it in advance. But that's really what the game's about. You know what I mean? You ask these questions, they're meant to kind of...
Dude, the worst, the worst, person that he wrestled, he knew immediately. He was like, oh.
Nope.
So they must be, someone still on a brand or something. So, but
Nick Nemeth was his. Hey, look, there's one thing you did miss now, and I'm not gonna. Well, he didn't delve into it too much, and again, I'm glad he didn't. There's just some things that just need to be respected. But we did talk about James Ellsworth, Jimmy Ellsworth. Well, some people know him. Obviously, the mainstream know him as James Ellsworth. Some folks that know him behind the scenes, they know him as Jimmy. So Jimmy, he was at the Hall of Fame. If you didn't know, Jimmy was there.
Yeah, he was taking pictures with AJ Styles.
So he said something along the lines that, he was talking to some people. I'm not going to mention anything, but he was talking to some people there at the Hall of Fame, and I'm not going to say no names, but look, man, like, he has people that are vouching for him. Like, think about it like this: you're running a podcast with JBL. JBL has his ear to the streets because he's a WWE Hall of Famer. Then look, you're just out there with Jimmy Ellsworth, who still has a relationship with people in WWE. He trained you. Like, you're getting these cosigns. Eventually, there's gonna be enough cosigns that be like, dude, you gotta sign him. You gotta sign him. Like, it'd be like us, right? Like, we're fucking picking different teams. We're picking people, and I'm picking my team, and they're like, dude, no, pick him. You know what I mean? Like, eventually, you'd be like, all right, dude, yeah, for sure. Like, he's got support. He's got the cosigns. He's got everything that you're looking for in a superstar. Why do I prefer him in the system of WWE? I mean, he's going to get his money regardless. If he's going to get his money, he's going to get his money. But why I prefer him in the E is because if they got the presentation and they got the character down pat, they look out for their big men. And Whether it's NXT or look, honestly, he is the kind of dude that you can start and put on the main roster. Whether he's got to go the Miz route, whatever the case may be, hey, he's a bodyguard for somebody to start with, dude. That's a great fucking way to start. Could he fucking be the bodyguard for Ethan Page and Ricky Saints if they're a tag team or just one of them? You know what I mean? Like, dude,
Yeah.
there are ways to play this, man. There are ways to play this, and I'm gonna give me a drink before I start cooking on this shit. Since he said, "Hey, I'm not going nowhere." It's 4:20. All my smokers out there, gas up, baby. Gas up, baby. Yo, gas up, baby. Look, man, I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to scan this. If you're watching this, scan that little QR code right there. If you're watching this, if you can see it, scan it right there. Oh, is it a little blurry? Let's see.
It's still blurry. Now you can't see it because of light.
Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it right now. All right. Oh, right there. I go backwards. Just scan that. Big Palm, the Hood Spencery.
Kata, turn down your light a bit so then they can see it.
I don't want them to see it. I don't want them to know the location. Just thank you for your service. Look, Big Palm right there, man. You know, see? Big Palm. Look at that. Big Palm. Look, baby. Look at baby. Wait, hold on. Let me find another one. For all my 420 lovers out there. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, so it's a little the light. I should brighten up the light. Anyway.
Wait, can we get copyrighted if we show certain stuff that without playing the music?
No, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Might. I don't know.
All right.
It's a little slippery slope. I'm glad nothing happened to
No, because my ranking in this game is actually 420 now.
Nice. So it's weird that and here's the crazy part. Maybe because YouTube couldn't detect it, because while you were playing that Eric Young video, the music for our stream was still playing in the background. So it kind of could have threw off, the detection.
Well, I'm glad it did, because that would have been
420, everybody. We're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it now. And Nap, I'm gonna pour me a drink, so you're gonna have to start off with the cooking. And I'm gonna start off with something that you'll definitely want to cook off on. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Dex ain't here, so you don't got to agree, but we'll start with this, and that way you can tell the folks, because either folks are going to agree with how how Dex feels or how you. So we already know. Again, we said it last night. Oba Femi has said, "I'm coming for Roman Reigns." Roman Reigns said, "All right, I'm here. All right." Whatever the case, Dex says it's too soon. There are a lot of people that are, again, stating this too soon. You said, "I can't wait to see Oba and Roman," which means, hey, I'd rather see it now. What is Nap's feelings? You get to shoot here, brother. Even if whatever the case may be, how is Nap feeling about Oba and Roman? Is this the right move? Or tell these people, I don't know, man. It's too soon, too soon. What is Nap really feeling as he shoots in the dark?
So what I feel is that I think, first of all, Oba and Roman is great for SummerSlam. I think that now, do I think that it would be a good build-up? Yes. I also see that maybe if they don't do SummerSlam, do you push it to closer to like a build-up for next year's WrestleMania, where you have the teasers going back and forth? I can see like that side too, but it all depends on how we're, I guess, with injuries and everything. And now, obviously, Roman said that he's going to be full-time, so that's going to be good moving forward. So, that's something that I feel is going to be very impactful when it comes to a lot of these decision-makings, because now they know that Roman's going to be there full-time. He's going to be a full-time champion. He did say the summer. So maybe he's hinting at like a short title reign between the summer going into fall and then winter. So that's something to keep an eye out. But I mean, I just don't want an interaction with them tonight. I don't want that. Like, I don't want anything that's gonna be like where Oba's gonna come out and then he's gonna come out and they're gonna get it on or something like that. Like, I just want to just keep doing the teasing, keep pushing Oba and making him look like he's the ruler and the destroyer and, you know, squashing people left and right. And then when the time is right, then, you know, push it. But I'm excited for the future to seeing those two clash. I just feel like if you're going to do it, you know, if you're going to do SummerSlam, fine, but you better have him win. But if it's not SummerSlam, then go ahead and push it towards WrestleMania, because that would absolutely be insane. If anything, like, have Oba win the Royal Rumble so you can push it to just straight to WrestleMania. You don't have to worry about, oh, well, he has to go through this and that. No, he'll have like the slot right there where he comes out and he just confronts Roman as Roman's, you know, talking, and then he just gets like picks up Roman, slams him down, and says, "My time is now." So do something like that, I feel, because if you just push it immediately and they had the confrontation, like, you don't want Roman to, first of all, squash him, and you don't want him to outshine or outtake his moment, because right now, like, all the momentum and everything is for Oba. So I feel like that's how you can get this guy to be the next big time. So, I mean, hopefully they don't, I guess. I mean, well, I could see them try to do it at the Royal Rumble, but that wouldn't really fit the T, because I feel like Oba versus Roman is a WrestleMania match. That should be a WrestleMania match leading up to that huge rivalry that they're going to be having. So, but, you know, I still feel like, if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if someone else, you know, jumps the ship and goes like, oh, well, you know, well, I'm going to go after Roman Reigns now. And then someone tries to call out Oba, and then Oba squashes them. So this is where I feel like you can do, you know, Javon Evans and Oba if you want, or you can do something else like that. If you don't want him going after Penta, even though I think Javon should go after Penta, because I think that would be more better. But, you know, there's a lot of possibilities here. But I just hope they don't, like, throw everything at once, because there's a lot of money in this match. There's a lot of money in this match. Obviously, you don't, you know, people aren't excited of going to Saudi Arabia, but there's a lot of money in this match. I feel like they need to be very smart, and they need to make sure that not only both guys stay healthy to make the match, but also both guys don't, you know, if we're going to have Roman lose, it should be a WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. So
WrestleMania.
I'm gonna look. Hold on, real quickly. Hold on. Give me one more. I'm reading something real quick.
Yeah, no. But I just realized, like, if they don't call up any of these guys we were talking about for NXT, then what's the next thing for them, though? Because, like, I feel like in this situation, call up Ethan Page, call up Ricky Starks, you know, do something like that to get the attention going. So I really hope it's not Gunther. But if they're gonna do Gunther versus Roman, fine. Have it at SummerSlam, get that shit over with. Or if they're gonna do Gunther versus Brock, because apparently, you know, Paul Heyman just said that, oh, well, Brock is not actually retired. So great. We're gonna get another fucking Gunther retirement, like, I guess, where he chokes Brock out, and then hopefully it's a quick match because I don't really want to see that. Anytime Gunther is just not entertaining to me. So if you want, you can do and there's not that many guys you can do without Yeah, they're gonna have to get really creative with this without having to, I guess, spoil the Oba and Roman potential. I was really hoping for the Usos to turn. Damn. Oh wait, they can have Oba go after one of the Usos if they want. Kind of do like you take out the lackeys and then you go straight to the.
Speaking of the Usos, I fucked up again.
What'd you do?
I forgot to ask him the Young Bucks or the Usos. Because we were trying to piss people off.
The Young Bucks.
What the fuck? Dude, what are you? You're not even smoke. You need to smoke, bro. You need to smoke.
Hey, don't disrespect the Young Bucks. Are you kidding me? Hell no. You're wild for that.
You're fucking disrespecting the Usos. Are you wild for that?
Hey, man.
Whoa, wait a minute. I think we've came to a crossroads here, brother. I think we found a division here. The fucking Young Bucks?
Yes, the Young Bucks.
Brother, please.
All right, bro.
Why? I need to know.
Why?
Yes.
Bro, they're just insane. They're insane. They're one of the best tag teams, like, to grace this earth. They're so... what's crazy is, like, if they were in WWE, they would probably be the best tag team in WWE.
No, they would not.
Yeah, they would.
Dude, you are smoking something crazy right now, and you don't even smoke.
Bro, you obviously don't know Nick and Matt Jackson. I
don't
guys,
know them, but
bro.
You don't know them. I'm just kidding, man. But look, man, no way, bro. No way you're putting them above.
Bro, yes. Okay, they literally won tag team gold all throughout the world multiple times.
The Usos have too.
They won it in WWE
because they earned that WWE right.
Oh, they could have. Matt and Nick could have jumped shit too, but they decided to just stay loyal to AEW
because they weren't going to be a good dude. They weren't. Nah.
Yo,
dude.
You're wild. Are you kidding me, bro?
Fuck no, I'm not kidding. The Bucks are not better than the Usos.
All right, bro.
Just like John Cena is better than Kenny Omega. And I know you wanted to disagree with that, but you didn't want to say anything. And that's exactly why I asked Big Ben, because I knew you were not going to say anything, but you were going to disagree in silence. And I saw it in your face. I'm going to pull that. I'm going to get that. I'm not even going to post it. I'm going to just screen record that, and I want to send it to you so you can see where your face is like you're like, in your head. I can see it literally. You're like, the fuck? No, dude, it's real. John Cena is better than Kenny Omega, hands down.
On the mic, yes.
In all aspects of the ring.
The God, Kenny Omega.
Dude. I even think the AA is a more vicious move than the One-Winged Angel.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, like I like both moves though. But
okay,
look at that. Look at that. More people are starting to use the One-Winged Angel.
Which one would you rather take as a fan? But they're both naked. I'm just kidding, man. No. Honestly, which one would you rather take as a fan? The One-Winged Angel or the? And again, I mean, obviously, just if we don't care about health, it's not gonna be a factor, nothing like that. But which one?
Well, you take the One-Winged Angel. If you don't do it right, someone's gonna break their neck.
So let's just say they're gonna do both of the rights. But would you rather take a One-Winged Angel from Kenny Omega, or post that on social media, or post taking an attitude adjustment from John Cena? Of course. And remember, you got to post it. So whichever one you think is gonna get the best.
I feel like the One Wing Angel will make it look like it's like more like, oh shit, because the attitude adjustment, you're just lifting someone up and you're just, you know.
But it's John Cena.
Okay, yeah, okay, then fine. Let's go.
No.
With John Cena,
Honestly, for you would take the One Winged Angel. That's fine. Obviously for the move wise. Or is it because you feel like Kenny Omega is better than John Cena? Is why?
No, it's because like when you're looking at the moves, right? The One Winged Angel, you have to like be precise, otherwise you're gonna break someone's neck. So
Right.
like if people see that, it's like, oh shit, like versus John Cena's, you know, attitude adjustment, which is like, oh, he's just gonna throw you over his back and then, you know, slam you on your back. But so I'm trying to go with like more dangerous
Got you.
potential versus like the safest. Obviously, you know, you would go with John Cena because like regardless what happens, all you're gonna have is just like your back hurting at worst, and then you know, it's gonna be John Cena. The moment
And
you
it's gonna
type
go viral?
John Cena, it's gonna go viral. So
Really viral. I know it'll go viral for Omega too, but it'll just, if you're comparing both social media presence, John Cena.
John Cena is gonna go more viral because people know more about John Cena. He's been, you know, if you don't watch like anything outside of WWE, you don't know who Kenny Omega is.
So you're saying Kenny Blow Omega? Just kidding, man. Just kidding, bro. I was seeing if you were gonna catch that. Yeah.
I think though Kenny Omega is one of the best wrestlers of this generation now. So that's just.
I mean, yeah, I'll give it that. I'll give it that. I won't give your fucking.
You would
ass.
love him in WWE, okay?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I really like how people are like, oh, Will Ospreay, this and that. I don't even see what Bruv would have done.
I don't think Will
would've
Ospreay. Will Ospreay is not a fit for WWE. Kenny is. Will's not really a fit because his style is perfect for AEW. It's not half of the shit there that he's doing. WWE wouldn't let him do.
It's just not only that. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just like maybe NXT, but I just don't know what on the main roster you would do with him. And I get it. I get it.
I'm not gonna put Will in NXT.
I would, because I don't know what the hell. I just don't know what he'll be doing on the main roster, except be frustrated because he's not getting, you know, pushed up where he needs to be. Maybe a United States champion.
So, guys, I think that are good, that would be good in WWE. Kenny Omega, because I've always wanted to see him versus Roman Reigns. To be honest, I thought that would have been a good match. I wanted to see the Young Bucks versus obviously the Usos, but also the New Day. When, you know, before Big E sadly had that, you know, that injury. So like those are guys. Jay White's another guy that should have went to WWE because I think he fits better over there. Okada's another guy that would be good in WWE.
You can't see you. Oh, you're leaning back. Got you. There you are. You disappeared for like, oh shit. Okay, let me ask you. No, you good. Let me ask you this question then. I need to know then, because Okada, we'll talk about that. You said, oh, he'll be good in WWE. If you were the booker, if you were Triple H, whatever the case, Okada signed to WWE, what are you doing with him? Like, and I'm being serious, like, legitimate question. What, you're the booker, or your talent relations, like, what are you, direction are you giving Okada?
First of all, I'm putting him with Shinsuke because.
How did I know you were gonna say that shit?
No, but here's the reason why. It's because there's chemistry there.
But wait, is it tag teaming or is it in a feud? Because right now, remember,
so
Shinsuke is like kind of like, you know, his
because Shinsuke is the face right now, right? I would put both of them in a feud, but then have him turn, obviously, and then join as a duo. But what I would do then is obviously have them, be like that 1A, 1B type of presence. So then right there, like I would push Okada, like for one of the main titles, heading into WrestleMania, where he can do his stuff, and then with Shinsuke, that can be like the big bro, little bro type of thing, where he's like, oh, okay, like my time is closing in, but I'm still here to kick ass. So, and then Shinsuke would at least have like a role.
Got you. So, okay.
So
this is like
WrestleMania flicking off people is like that would be insane.
So this would be an exception where this is Batman and Robin, but in this case they're both Batman, right? Because nobody else can be that, because they can both be the star. They're both the 1A, 1A. You know what I mean? They can both be the star of the tag team at any given time. It's like compared to the Rockers with Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Shawn Michaels could run the show, but when you throw Marty Jannetty, it's like, that's why you knew that Shawn Michaels was a single star. But at least with them, you could, both of them, even in a tag team, when one's hurt or whatever the case may be, can run the show, and that's why I think they will be both Batmans in that instance.
Well, here's the thing though, is that like you can because Okada is a good leader too. Like people forget, like he's led too. So but the thing is though, is like you can also do like the Okada version where he comes in, dominates and everything, and another version where it's like he's trying to find out what he's good at, and then all of a sudden you can turn him back into the Rainmaker, and you can have him just absolutely go on a tear. So you can put him against guys like Roman Reigns. You can put him against. Really, I wanted to see him versus AJ Styles. Wanted to see Kenny one more time versus AJ Styles. Being that I always felt like Kenny and AJ, like when it was in New Japan, the way AJ like knew, okay, like my time was up, and he literally gave himself to Kenny, to build the next generation of the Bullet Club and everything. So I feel like that, and also like that, like you could have had him and the Young Bucks running rampant too in WWE. You could have had that. You could have had multiple different opportunities there, but they just stayed in AEW. But I feel like a guy like Jay White should have went to WWE, because I don't know what he's doing anymore in AEW. He's just been constantly hurt, and it sucks to see, but he definitely would have benefited from going to NXT, becoming NXT champion, obviously going to the main roster. I mean, who wouldn't love to see the Switchblade? Like, so that's just how I feel. But
so yeah. Anyway, y'all, that's Napster P right there, giving his take. No clowning, being for real. Giving his takes on Okada, giving insight of who would fit with AEW and WWE, whatever the case. But this is the Smoke Sessions. Man, this feels like the good old days of Afternoon Delight, which we'll be talking about soon. I'm gonna keep retweeting. If y'all see this spammed up, all these retweets, my apologies in advance.
Yo, it's crazy. It does feel like Afternoon Delight. For those who don't know, Afternoon Delight. It was crazy because we were running 18-hour plus spaces, and we had literally people coming into the Afternoon Delight and saying, "Oh my God, you guys are still up!" And
they would go to sleep. They would go to sleep, come back on the space, and still see the same space on. It's like, yo, it's crazy. But now this is a 420 Smoke Sessions episode. Look, we're called the Smoke Session. Even though Nasty P does not smoke, he did bring the munchies for us. He did bring the pizza. So hey, man, I said, look, you don't gotta smoke, just bring us some munchies, and he sure did, man. Brought the munchies, brought some pizza. So look, that's what we doing. It's a 24, not 24. I'm about to say 24/7. Nah, it is the Smoke Sessions episode extravaganza. We're gonna be on until the end of Eric Young's show. So you might see a few be right backs. We're gonna keep this popping. This is what we're doing on the show today. So let me roll through and go to the I got to get to the Adam Pearce real quickly because I think there was some no official Raw announcements yet. To see what's exactly going to happen. All we still see is the most unforgettable moments. Again, the Raw after Mania always proves to be something crazy. Is it going to be? We're going to find out. Is it going to be full of surprises? Is that what people are expecting? We're about to find out.
God damn, bro. Just call up Ethan Page and Ricky Starks. Just call them up, for God's sakes. Put them on Raw and let them go rampant like Randy Orton and Edge did years ago. Like,
he said, let them go rampant. Just let them go, man. Come on, please. We're begging you, man.
yeah, I better not tune into NXT and see their asses still on NXT. That needs to end.
You might. You still might see them in NXT. I don't know what to say, man. I apologize on that. Shout out to the whole Body Slam crew, man. Everybody that worked hard over WrestleMania week. And shout out to all the talent too, man, that worked hard over WrestleMania week. Whether you had a couple shows, appearances, whatever the case may be, that's some work. And I don't know if you heard it or not, Nat, but Ben said, look, man, I just came back from Vegas and I got to go back to Vegas tomorrow for his real job, man. So it's like, ooh, you know, that's a grind right there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna send you a message from the news we got.
By the way, if you're a promoter and you can't get this man like at least a good enough space for him to be able to stretch his legs out, that's wild. But hey, you know, I love that he just went straight to the point when you asked him, what's the lowest you've been paid? He was like, nothing, 0.
We have to ask, you know, like because sometimes it happens, man. Like sometimes where it's the case, you know, where some might, you know, oh man, we couldn't pay you that much, or we had this going on. So yeah, man. I'm gonna have to, again, we appreciate everybody that's tapped in with us, man. Everybody that's rocking with us right now. I'm gonna promote all the posts so you can see all the streams, man, live. We still live. We 2.5 hours in. He said, look, man, my lights are off. I'm still doing what I gotta do, player. And that's what it's about. So at the end of the day, look, Smoke Sessions is live. We got Eric Young. We got Eric Young a whole shift later. You know what I mean? Maybe, just maybe. We're gonna get into again the whole sanity. We're gonna get into everything, man. His story, his upbringing. We're gonna get into Team Canada. We're gonna get into everything. And for those that don't know, we got some other guests coming up, especially in May. And no, we can't play the music because damn.
Yeah, we're gonna get copyright.
Copyright about to hit us like a motherfucker, man. But we got some good guests coming up. I don't know if one of our guests is gonna bring his whole train or not. Another guest might just be one of the strongest men in the world, right? If not the strongest. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we definitely get into that. But look, we want to shout out Boca Raton Championship Wrestling for doing their thing, allowing us to bless. Oh, he's disappearing. He's disappearing on us to bless the audience, you know, with Noah K. Cole and Matt Mania, man. We appreciate that very much. And then as we continue to roll through, I think this one is going to be a little different. I think this might be a 3 or 4K night. We'll see how it goes. But let's just talk about the real deal, man. We're gonna get into it. Fuck it. No holds bar that shit. I'm gonna light this blunt up. We're gonna figure out why Napster P is not a fan of Farouk in the Nation of Domination. We're gonna have to find out. That's true. He said, "Why was Farouk the leader of the nation?"
It fell. I knew it was gonna fall.
What happened? What happened, man?
That other light I had, it wasn't. It fell and it broke.
Oh man, he said it fell, broke. Man, we're gonna damn. Well, let's keep on keeping on while he does his thing. Look, everybody, we're gonna have a quick little game here, and for every question that Napster P gets wrong, he's gonna have to ask a random question to Eric Young from the audience. And no, it can't be nothing crazy and zesty and nothing like that. But hey, like, you know, have you ever farted in the ring? Things like nothing's gonna be off unless it's something like explicit. Nah, we won't do that. It's gonna be fun and games. So the most Napster P will ever ask Eric Young is just 5. So if he strikes out, we're not doing 3 strikes. It's just, hey, look, man, he'll have to find a 1 minute of time. And again, it's not going to be something he ponders over the whole like 10 or 15. It is going to be a 1 or 2 minute segment. That's all. A simple 1 or 2 minute segment for the punishment. If he wins, and when I say I'll give it to him the victory, if he wins, that means he gets 4 out of 5. It will be I asking these crazy questions. So let's get this started. Napster P.
No.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan. The Macho Man Randy Savage. Big Sexy Kevin Nash. Scott Hall. X-Pac. They were all members of the NWO. So was Ted DiBiase. So was Vincent. So the question is, what year was Macho Man Randy Savage born? Don't you 10, 9, 8.
He's old. I know that. Okay, like I want to say. I want to say in the 60s.
He was born November 15th, 1952. We would have accepted 1952. But, all right. That's just how it's going to go. That's not a real question. That's just like, for example, like a random question that might pop up. Because I'm getting a generator here. And it's an AI generator that's, you know, giving us little questions of. All right. So, true or false, Napster P? When Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant at WrestleMania, true or false? That was the first time the Giant was ever slammed by Hulk Hogan.
I want to say true.
False. Even though it wasn't in the WWE ring, Hogan had previously body slammed Andre the Giant before. True or false? No, not true or false. You know the Miz. His name is Mike Mizanin. Can you tell me what MTV show he became the Miz in?
The Real World.
There you go. The Real World. There you go. Perfect. That's one question for you. Question number 2. Staying with the Miz now. If the Miz was on the Real World, That means he wasn't on Road Rules. What's the name of the MTV show that combines both of those reality shows? Oh, I'm sorry. That originally involved both of those reality shows. 10 seconds. Time.
Actually, I don't know this. How old is Jersey Shore? Is it?
3, 2.
I don't know.
It's called The Challenge. The Challenge originally was called Real World Road Rules Challenge. That's what it was originally called. And it was basically contestants from the real world and contestants from this show called The Challenge. Well, not the Road Rules. They were on the road. Their reality show was on the road. And they would compete in all these kind of, games and so forth. Then MTV started implementing like other reality shows. So they dropped like the Real World Road Rules and they just made it The Challenge.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I the only thing I watched from MTV most of the time was like, obviously, was Jackass, and the Jackass spin-offs. Sometimes Ridiculousness, not that much, because Rob kind of irritated me from time to time. And then like no, it wasn't Rob. It was Chanel's laugh that like sometimes irritated me.
My girl don't like her laugh either.
That was like, yeah, it would tune me out like a lot. And then like when it came, I like Stilo. He was cool.
Stilo Graham.
What was MTV Cribs. MTV Cribs. I like one of my favorites was the one where they did the Gorillas.
The Gorillas.
Yeah.
Huh. Speaking of gorillas,
You should
there's
never look in
gorillas.
the eye because they will attack you.
Speaking of gorillas, you don't have to give me the full definition of what a gorilla is, but what is the definition of a gorilla? And I don't mean the chimpanzee, the monkey, or the animal.
Is it strength?
All right, I'm going to say it one more time. All right. What is the definition of a gorilla? And I don't mean the animals, a chimp, monkey, and I don't mean any animal associated with a gorilla. So what is the definition of the word gorilla?
War.
War? Audience? Audience, what do y'all think? So, gorilla are, I'll give it to you, a little bit of a war, but they're like a militia. They're not a cartel. They're like a militia. They're an army. Guerrilla warfare, guerrilla tactics.
Yeah,
We'll get that
one
one a wash. We'll get that one a wash. Okay. Spell the word. Spell the word calibration. I'm just kidding, brother. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to throw you off.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't feel like
Bushwhackers.
spelling.
Give me the name of the Bushwhackers.
The hell is that?
Give me the names of the two Bushwhackers.
Bush and whack.
Luke and Butch. You never seen the Bushwhackers?
No. This is how you know now you're showing your age, K-Dot, because you're talking to somebody that like not only you're showing your other type of experience.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I told you I'm not a reality guy.
That was not a reality show question. What was the question I asked you again? Remember, I'm high right now.
Bushwhackers.
The Bushwhackers are a WWE Hall of Fame tag team.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And-
I don't remember them then.
They're
'Cause I
from
probably wasn't.
New Zealand.
How old are they?
And RIP to Luke of the Bushwhackers. But Butch right now is still wrestling. I think he's 80 years old.
Man, there you go, bro. There you go. Like years ago, you know, like what was it, 10 or 15 years ago? I found out about you know, fuck, what was that tag team?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's 79 years old. Still wrestling.
Fuck, what was that tag team?
And as a matter of fact, are you ready for this?
The Rock and Rollers. Yeah.
Luke has the same booking management as Eric Young. Pretty interesting, huh? Well, P, look what we did today, man. I don't know. I got 2 more blunts in me. I don't know if I got to keep it going on or roll it up in a little bit. We have to figure this out and play this by ear here because we didn't reach where we needed to be for the first hour. I mean, for the first show. Okay. So, you've gotten 2 wrong, which means you failed. Nobody's watching the show just yet. So we're going to put it like this. I'm going to send you the questions one by one. And you got 1 right. You missed 2. So, unfortunately, it's going to be 4 out of those 5 questions you got to ask because you got 1 right. So, I'm going to send you one by one the text message, right? And you just react. You just react to how whatever you think of the question and again, it's not going to be nothing crazy like that. It's going to be silly, but nothing crazy like that. I can promise. Nothing like fucking, oh, dude, you know, anybody ask you to smell underwear? Like, I can't believe Ben said that shit. They wanted to fucking...
Yo, when he said, yeah, someone asked me for my dirty underwear, and I was like, oh man.
Yo, I was like, yo,
you know what's crazy is that, like, he wasn't joking about it either. He was like just dead. He was like, yeah, man, like people ask for the most weirdest shit, and then he was like, some people actually do that. He was like, you know, I'm not knocking their hustle or anything, but you know, it just, and when you're in that position, like it just feels like weird and odd, and it's like bro, and then when you were like, when you asked them, oh, so both you know, both males and females, he was like, oh yeah, he's like, oh, and feet pics too, lots of feet pics, and he was like, you know, I don't know why. I mean, I don't even think my feet even look that good, and it's like, yo.
So okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to send the first one. Sorry, stream. Hold up. I'm going to send the first one. Okay. Oh, yeah. We got break almost, man. We got to break this down. You ready for this? I think this will be the way we're going to end the segments out. All right. Remember, all I need you to do is react to the question. Don't say the question. React, because this is what you would ask.
Loading.
First one. I need to see how you would react. Okay. All right. Here. There you go. All right. That was your reaction. That's a good reaction, okay? I like it. Question 2. You ready?
Mm. Oh no.
Third question.
Oh no. That's bad. Yo, those are bad, bro. I'm wondering if he. I don't even think TNA is gonna allow him to say that shit.
Wait. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. That's
Okay.
a normal. Yeah, that's a normal one.
Okay.
The first one, I don't think
Hold on.
they're
Hold
gonna
on.
allow him to say.
Don't say that. Hold on. Don't say nothing. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. We're a little quiet. I'm trying to. There you go. Last one. We're gonna see a reaction.
No. No.
Read the rest of it. Read the rest of it.
No.
Read it.
Yeah, no.
Yo, okay. I was just joking. You're not gonna have to do any of that. But do me a favor. Tell the people this is how we're gonna end the show. I think we're gonna get to where we need to get to.
Oh my god.
By the time you say this question, I think we'll get to the goal we got right now. The last question, none of this has to be asked. So I'm just saying, what was the last question that was sent to you?
Oh, okay. The last one was like, do you like to sleep in the nude with a pillow between your cheeks? And a bonus question, would you ever take a naked Hump Me Daddy from Viscera, a naked Vader born from Vader, or a naked bonsai drop from Yokozuna? And he
Say the
rubs
rest.
his oh my god, his tape on your face, bro. Oh shit.
All right, so this is how we're gonna end the first half of the smoke session. We appreciate everybody that tapped in with us. Thank you again, Big Ben Bishop, Big Trouble, Big Carney Cool, for joining us. Appreciate everybody. Again, be sure to follow bodyslam.net. Subscribe to Body Slam on Twitch, on YouTube. Subscribe to the Smoke Sessions on YouTube. Smoke Sessions 8 on X. The Patreon Body Slam Plus. They've been dropping some latest Cody Rhodes news, some TNA news. You see it right there.
By
Look
the
at that,
way,
man.
just so people know, like, I mean, I'm not, but one of them was like, are you a shit in the morning guy, or are you
Okay.
shit after
Read the
work?
questions. Fuck it. Read the questions. And these were all troll questions. You already read the
It was
last one.
like,
Go ahead with the other person.
what is your favorite porn site? Are you a morning shit guy, or a shit after workout guy? When you're done with TNA, when you're done with a TNA match, and you take your socks and boots off, do your feet ever smell, and have you ever had athlete's feet? And then finally, are you a boxer, or are you a briefs guy? So.
Oh
those
my
are the
God.
questions.
Yo, imagine if that was the punishment behind the scenes and you're like, yo, you got to ask these questions and you're like, oh, fuck.
If he wasn't in TNA, or like, probably he would definitely probably answer some of these questions.
Oh, he'll storm off the show. Fuck that. He's gonna hear the feet one and be like, fuck this. Nah, but honestly, you gotta do it like that. It was just fun while it lasted. Look, appreciate you again. Do what you need to do. Ladies and gentlemen, look, shout out to Web EJ. That's follow him on X. That's Dex Luger. That's Napster P. Look, NapGod7 on X. Again, shout out to Ben Bishop, man. Our first guest for our 420 show. We're gonna have two. We were gonna stick around, but we're like, nah, you know what? We're gonna break it up right now. So in about 2.5 hours, you're about to see our mean mugs again. Because at 5:30 Central Time, 5:40 at the latest Central Time, we're going to start the 420 evening show of the Smoke Sessions with our special guest at the 6:15 Central Time hour, the 6 p.m. hour, Eric Young. We are going to talk about his latest EC3 match, his latest match in TNA with a returning EC3. We're going to talk about everything and then some under the sun, because he's another man that's on his hustle in and outside of the ring, and we're going to talk about that.
He's got the design.
Oh yeah, and for sure the whole crew will be here. I gotta get it. This is, again, the layout is a little different. I gotta fix it right back up and adjust it. So that's why also we're gonna end the show right now. So again, shout out to everybody that tapped in. Subscribe to where you gotta subscribe. Link to where you gotta link. But be sure you follow us, man. Look, you see right there, K.Views on X, NapGod7 on X, Web EJ on X, Body Slam Net on X. Let's do that shit, man. I cannot wait to have Eric Young in the building tonight. 6:15 p.m. Central, he will be in the building, but we will start the show at 5:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let me turn the sound off real quick. Let me stop this as well. This has been the Smoke Sessions, and for all my 420 people, let's see. Sports Jedi Network, Kev, Chris, Sped, man, keep doing your damn thing for sure. Mobsy, Stampede, Los, shit, man. Everybody out there. C Blaze is out there. Corey doing his thing. Cass. I mean, who else we got, man? Fucking Brady's out there from Body Slam. You know what I'm saying? Tim was out there. J-Star was out there. Man, check all these folks, man. Check out everybody, man. Ethan's out there. Gerard's out there. Rilo's out there. Shout out everybody. Unk, you know what I'm saying? Another Spurs playoff victory. Shout out Unk. Shout out Spurs Power. All the whole crew. TTV, baby. Spurs Cowboys fan, everybody. But look, that's a whole lot of people. We got more people to name. Eric Young tonight. We will be back. Hugs and kisses, bitches. Roll up, light up, spark up. Yeah, boy.
Damn, the Smoke Sessions is over. What the hell do I do now?
Ooh, exclusive DJ beats.
The Smoke Session's been over for 2 hours and we still sitting here. We must be higher than Giraffe Booty.